Chapter 2082. Burning Demon, you're too arrogant. This is not the place for you to behave atrociously. Yishur San was enraged and attacked Xiaoping. Theurgy, Yiksha's ray of sky. In an instant, the wings on his back fluttered and his body moved as fast as lightning. He turned into a black light and disappeared in front of all the demons. Many fiendish demons were astonished. This speed was the best in Rock City. This was also Yishur San's famous mystique. With his unparalleled speed, he could kill powerful enemies without fail. Swoosh! In the blink of an eye, Yishur San arrived in front of Xiaoping. He held a steel trident in his hand and stabbed at Xiaoping with an aura that could pierce through chaos, shatter the ages, and tear the void apart. Not a single peerless demon would be able to withstand this attack. Even the surrounding void rippled, containing boundless killing intent. One could only imagine how terrifying this attack was. Without a doubt, this was a peerless killing move. It was the most powerful assassination theurgy of the Yiksha clan. He wanted to kill Xiaoping in an instant, destroy his origin spirit, and eliminate this great threat. However, when Yishur San approached Xiaoping, he immediately felt that he had entered a world of nothingness. The trident also hit a huge clumping. He felt that all his attacks had disappeared completely. It was as if he had fallen into a swamp and hit cotton. He could not make any waves at all. Impossible. What kind of defensive theurgy is this? The assassination theurgy of the Yiksha clan is useless. Yishur San could not believe it. The peerless theurgy that he was proud of and had always been successful was useless against the burning demon. It was unbelievable. Rumble, at this moment, Xiaoping attacked. He moved later, but arrived first. He slapped his palm down from the sky and hit Yishur San with a bang. His body was like a rubber ball that was slapped hard on the ground. He instantly fell into a deep pit, causing the ground to shatter and cracks to appear. Yishur San's face was filled with fear. He felt that all the bones in his body had been shattered. His vitality was disappearing bit by bit. Even his soul was injured. Stop immediately. Do you know what you're doing? Yi 13th roared. I'm the commander of the Yiksha army, one of the 9 commanders of Rock City. I'm a trusted subordinate. If you dare to attack me, you're slapping the Rock Overlord's face. That's a rebellion. No matter how many contributions you've made, you'll die just because of this. The Rock Overlord definitely won't let off a subordinate who betrays him. Have you considered the consequences? It immediately brought out the Rock Overlord in an attempt to scare Xiaoping. Noisy. Soon, I'll kill the Rock Overlord. Who does it think it is? Trying to scare me? It's simply overestimating itself. Xiaoping didn't even look at it as he sent a palm strike over. With a bang, Yishur San let out a shrill cry. His entire head was crushed, his body split into pieces, and his soul shattered. Clearly, he couldn't be more dead. Many fiendish demons from the Burning Legion were stunned. They did not expect Xiaoping to be so daring. He even dared to kill the Yiksha Legion's commander. This was simply offending the Rock Overlord, and he would not rest until he was dead. They couldn't imagine how furious the Rock Overlord would be if he found out about this. The entire fiery hell would probably be turned upside down by the Rock Overlord's wrath. Burning Demon, you actually dare to kill the commander? How dare you? Burning Demon, you're dead for sure. No one in the world can save you. You dare to kill the Rock Overlord's trusted subordinate. Even if you had 9 lives, you wouldn't be able to survive. There's no place for you in the entire fiery hell. Just you wait. You won't have a good ending. Everyone, let's kill this burning demon and avenge the commander. Yes, kill him and tear him to pieces. The Yiksha soldiers and generals were all enraged. Their eyes were wide open. Seeing their commander killed like a dog by this burning demon, they couldn't restrain their anger. Some cursed, some threatened, some watched coldly, and some were furious. They charged over from all directions and surrounded Xiaoping tightly, wanting to kill him. You still dare to be arrogant? All of you die. Seeing the Yiksha soldiers pouncing at him like crazy, Xiaoping didn't even look at them. He circulated the powerful magic in his body, held the morning staff, and knocked it forward lightly. rumble. Immediately, the world wailed and howled. Vengeful spirits wailed, ghosts and gods wailed. Wave after wave of terrifying spiritual waves blasted towards the Ikshas. Like ripples, they spread out rapidly. In just a breath's time, the entire Lust Mountain range was surrounded. It was as if the mountain range had fallen into a boundless realm of ghosts, and countless evil ghosts surged out. At this moment, the entire world, the airflow, the gravel, and everything else stopped. Even time seemed to have stopped. All the Yaksha soldiers and generals stopped in midair. One could even see their enraged and crazed expressions. But the moment this power erupted, their bodies were attacked by the morning staff. Wisps of black aura invaded their bodies like a curse. Dong! In an instant, the many Yaksha soldiers and generals, regardless of their strength, were crushed into pieces. Their primordial spirits were smashed into smithereens just like that. Not even their bones were left. Whoosh! Blood rain appeared in midair and poured onto the ground, forming a river of blood. Apart from the demons of the Burning Legion, all the demons of the Yaksha army in the entire Lust Mountain range were killed by this attack. There were no exceptions. The demons of the Burning Legion were stunned and speechless. This was an attack from a ghost god. Even the strength of the rock overlord couldn't compare to this. With just a single attack, all the Yakshas were killed. Not a single one was left. Not bad. Xia Ping grabbed with his hand and produced a devouring power. He immediately collected the corpses and souls of the dead demons. The soul energy was quickly refined into soul crystals. The soul energy didn't just include the recently dead Yakshas. It also included the soul energy of the many demons that had died in the battle. Now, he had devoured all of it. 500,000. Xiaoping's eyes lit up. This time, he had obtained the soul energy equivalent to 500,000 peak lightning tribulation realm cultivators. It could be considered a huge harvest. Of course, the biggest harvest was the morning staff and 1 billion underworld stones. In particular, 1 billion underworld stones were enough for him to awaken 1 billion golden crow cells and evolve his bloodline. Now that he had wiped out the Yaksha army, it was equivalent to falling out with the rock overlord. If he continued to stay here, he would definitely have a serious conflict with the rock overlord. He wouldn't be able to stay in Rock City either. Therefore, Xia Ping decided to leave this place immediately and devour a large number of underworld stones to improve his bloodline power. Chapter 2083. Whoosh! Xia Ping's figure flashed as he entered the void, rapidly leaving the place. What do we do? The Burning Legion fiendish demons looked at each other. They didn't know what to do either. Their commander had killed all the demons of the Yaksha army and quickly fled, leaving only the remnants of their army behind. For a moment, they were all dumbfounded. They looked at each other because things had developed so quickly that they couldn't react. There's no other way. We can only run. A goat-horned fiendish demon said. What do you mean? Run? Where can we run to? That's right. The rock overlord is furious. We'll die no matter where we run to. The fiendish demons were helpless. They had a deep fear of overlord demons. They were monsters that they couldn't fight. We'll die if we don't run. The goat-horned fiendish demon said solemnly, now that our commander has destroyed the entire Yaksha army, it's equivalent to crippling one of the rock overlord's arms. This is a life and death feud. It's unforgivable. And as members of the Burning Legion, we've been branded by our commander even though we've only known each other for a day. If we return to Rock City now, we'll definitely be torn to pieces by the rock overlord. It was clear and logical, speaking at the most crucial moment. Indeed, we can't overestimate the overlord's benevolence. If he can't catch our commander, he might vent his anger on us. If that happens, we'll really die. I agree with this point. We still have a chance of survival if we run now. If we go back, we'll die. That's right. Let's escape somewhere else. We can't return to Rock City. The fiendish demons of the Burning Legion immediately made a decision to run with Xia Ping. A day later, the news quickly spread to Rock City and reached the ears of the rock overlord. At this moment, all the high-ranking generals of Rock City had gathered in the overlord's residence for a high-level meeting. The rock overlord sat on his throne. He looked like a rock on the surface and was extremely calm. However, no one knew just how much rage was hidden beneath that cold exterior. I previously sent the Yiksha army and Vanguard battalion to deal with the Swamp army for the Underworld stone mine. In the end, I received news that the Yiksha army was completely destroyed, the Vanguard battalion fled, and all the Underworld stones were gone. What's going on? The Rock Overlord said in a low voice. Its pupils were filled with boundless rage, like a volcano that could erupt at any moment. Countless fiendish beasts were terrified. Reporting to Sir Overlord, a demon commander immediately jumped out. According to the intelligence, the traitor demon is that burning demon. That traitor led the Vanguard battalion to rebel and killed the Yiksha Corps commander Yishur-san and all the soldiers of the Yiksha Corps. The rest of the demons from the Vanguard camp have all deserted and betrayed our rock city. Please give the order to kill these despicable traitors immediately. It was full of righteous indignation. The Black Lion demon by the side did not dare to say anything, because it was the one who had brought the burning demon here. Now that it had rebelled and caused a huge problem, it was already good enough that the Lord did not hold it responsible. So how could it dare to stand out? If it angered the Lord, it would probably die without a burial. Good, very good, very good. The Rock Overlord was infuriated. A puny burning demon that came to Rock City for less than a day actually managed to instigate the entire Vanguard battalion. Tell me, how did he do it? It was very angry, feeling an unprecedented anger. It was basically a bellyful of anger. Because it had been an immortal rank lord for so long, there had never been a demon that dared to play around with it like this, even bringing huge losses to its rock city. This was a vicious slap to his face in front of so many fiendish demons. Sir Overlord, I think that the burning demon was very likely sent by the Swamp Overlord. They might even have purposely leaked the information about the ore vein to eliminate the Yiksha Corps. In the end, they were very successful. Not only did we lose the Yiksha Corps, we even lost the Vanguard battalion. A bullhorn demon commander voiced out his guess. He felt that the burning demon might be a subordinate that the Swamp Overlord had secretly sent over. Otherwise, it would not be so coincidental. No, I feel that it might not be the Swamp Overlord scheme. A poison demon commander jumped out and suggested a different opinion, because in this battle, the Swamp Corps seemed to have been completely annihilated. Even the Corps commander Green Frog Demon died in this battle. If it was the Swamp Overlord scheme, it wouldn't be so stupid as to let its trusted general die. This is completely not worth it. I feel that this might be related to the third Overlord. Perhaps it wants to use this chance to make us fight to the death with the Swamp Overlord, causing a war, then reap the benefits. It felt that it might be the third Overlord scheme. Bullshit. Why don't you know that this is the Swamp Overlord's ruse? That green frog demon might not even be dead. We only found its head. Who knows if the head is also fake? That bullhorn demon immediately retorted, still insisting that this was the Swamp Overlord's scheme. Do you have a brain? That head clearly belongs to the green frog demon. How can it be fake? Why don't you try and fake it? Even if you're stupid, don't think that other demons are as stupid as you. The poison demon commander scolded loudly. Both demon commanders started scolding each other, arguing endlessly. They all felt that their way of thinking was correct. Enough! All of you shut up! The Rock Overlord angrily shouted, causing the entire Lord's mansion to tremble. The air was filled with a terrifying and oppressive aura. Even the void seemed to be creaking. All the demon commanders immediately shut up. They couldn't continue to anger the Lord, otherwise they would die without a doubt. Immediately mobilize all the demons in Rock City. You must find that damned traitor burning demon for me. The Rock Overlord angrily said, no matter which Lord scheme it is, no matter which demon dares to plot against us, that burning demon that fooled this Lord must die. Even if it escapes to the end of hell, it must be found. I swear that I will tear it into pieces. No one can betray this Lord and still come out unscathed. I want it to die without a burial place. It was extremely angry. A terrifying aura spread out, shaking the entire throne to the point that slight cracks appeared. Even the entire Lord's mansion had huge cracks, as if the building here was about to be shaken in half. Yes, Lord. The demon chieftains obeyed. They knew that the rock overlord was truly enraged this time. After being toyed with by the burning demons and losing 2 elite troops, no overlord would be able to endure such humiliation. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Chapter 2084. Xiaoping left the Lust Mountains and went to a remote place. He found a cave, set up a spell formation to conceal his aura, and went into seclusion. Xiaoping immediately took out the 1 billion understones he had obtained from the Lust Mountains and placed them on the ground. They piled up like a mountain, filling the entire cave with dense underworld power. If the demons of hell saw this, they would all be green with envy. This was an amount of understones they would never be able to obtain in their entire lives. In hell, this was a shocking amount of wealth. Even Lord-level demons would be moved. But now all of these understones were going to him. Hellfire Crucible. Without another word, Xiaoping activated his bloodline mystique, and a huge crucible appeared out of thin air. It was engraved with the script of hell, twisting and writhing like earthworms, and emanating a mysterious, profound power. Rumble, with a thought, he tossed one understone after another into the crucible. In a few breaths of time, the understones were burned, tempered, and refined by the Hellfire Crucible. They were transformed into majestic underworld power, and then turned into strands of gray mist. Before long, the entire cave was filled with gray mist, filling every nook and cranny. Xiaoping activated his energy arts, and all 108,000 of his pores breathed in and out like a whale swallowing food. A terrifying, devouring power roared out, and the gray mist in the air flowed into his body through his pores. As soon as the underworld power entered his body, it was as if he had taken a complete tonic. Every single one of his golden crow cells greedily devoured the underworld power from hell. Originally, his fire power had been too strong, and he hadn't had much underworld power. That had created an imbalance between the two. But things were different now. After devouring so many understones, he had filled in the gaps in his body. It was like yin and yang were fused together. Crackle! With the enormous supply of underworld power, Xiaoping's golden crow cells began to awaken. 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000, 3,000,000, 5,000,000, 10,000,000. The entire cave was filled with the sound of exploding stars. It was as if golden crows were awakening inside of him, and raging fire power surged out of him. After an unknown period of time, he had refined a total of 500 million underworld stones. Half of them had disappeared. The need to refine so many underworld stones was a little beyond Xiaoping's imagination. However, devouring so many nether stones was not without its benefits. At this moment, the number of infernal golden crow cells awakened in his body had finally reached 1 billion. The moment the billions of golden crow hell cells awakened, it was as if they had reached a critical point. Dong! Xiaoping's body trembled, and his entire body started to burn. 1 billion golden crow hell cells vibrated in his body, surging into his limbs, bones, and meridians. At this moment, his entire body had turned into dark golden flames. Even every drop of his blood had turned into lava and was burning fiercely. At this moment, his entire body was like a huge sun emitting endless heat. This heat was extremely terrifying, and even the restrictive formations around him could not withstand it. In an instant, they were completely burnt. Even the huge mountain range he was on was burned into a ball of lava, which turned into a river that flowed across the land with a crashing sound. Endless light pierced through the clouds. Even the thick clouds could not withstand the scorching light. It tore through the darkness, as though it had turned into an eternal sun. The entire inferno hell shone with unprecedented light, piercing through the clouds like a pillar of light. No, this was no ordinary pillar of light, but rather a pillar that connected heaven and earth. It was like a pillar of light that had existed since time immemorial. This scene shook the entire fiery hell. This light could not be concealed at all. Just the diameter of the pillar alone was 30,000 kilometers. All the demons, no matter where they were, looked towards the direction of the pillar of light. That was because this was something that the fiery hell had never seen before. The fiery hell was shrouded in darkness all year round. Even if there was lava erupting, there was a limit to how much light it could produce. It was like a world of darkness. But it was different now. The huge pillar of light tore through the clouds and illuminated the entire fiery hell. Everywhere it went, the darkness was dispelled. This was shocking and unprecedented. Oh my God, what's going on? Why did this pillar of light appear? It pierced through the fiery hell. Many demons were shocked. Some could not help but close their eyes. The long years of living in darkness had caused their eyes to degenerate. They were not used to bright environments. Now that they saw such a dazzling and glaring light, they couldn't help but tear up. Some demons that were afraid of sunlight screamed. Thick smoke rose from their bodies, as though they would be killed by the sunlight if they did not stay far away. Unbelievable pillar of light. It's like the legendary sun of hell. It pierces through time and space and radiates eternal heat. Why would it appear in the fiery hell? What's going on in the fiery hell? Could it be that a secret treasure has appeared somewhere in the fiery hell? That's why this is happening? The demons and dark ghosts discussed fervently. They were extremely shocked. They felt that this might be an unprecedented change in the fiery hell, a miraculous sight that had never been seen since ancient times. For a moment, they were shocked, unsure of what was happening. Many demons were very curious. They moved quickly and immediately flew towards the pillar of light. They wanted to find out what was happening in the fiery hell. This scene was also discovered by the 9 great overlord-ranked demons of the fiery hell. Unlike the other demons, their eyes were filled with ambition and desire. Such a phenomenon actually appeared and shook the fiery hell. It must be the birth of some secret treasure of hell. Such a secret treasure must not fall into the hands of other overlords. Otherwise, I will definitely die. Set off immediately and snatch this secret treasure of hell. Even if we don't get it, we can't let other overlords benefit from it. The 9 great immortal rank overlords made up their minds at the same time. They all desired the secret treasure of hell that suddenly appeared. It might be a fortuitous encounter. Once they obtained it, they would definitely advance further. Their strength would greatly increase, far surpassing other overlords. At that time, one of them would definitely become the absolute overlord of the fiery hell. At that time, they might even be able to head to the even more powerful hell world and compete with other overlords. They would no longer have to hide in this small place. So. Chapter 2085. At this moment, Xiaoping was not in the mood to care about what was happening in the outside world. He did not know that the phenomenon had shaken the entire flaming hell. Many demons and monsters were surrounding him from all directions. There were even 9 immortal rank overlords. These things were not important. He was only immersed in the constant transformation of his body. Dong, dong, dong. His heart was beating rhythmically, like a planet shaking. It produced waves of sound waves that were almost tangible and spread in all directions. The rocks, steel, diamonds, and other extremely hard materials in the surroundings were all shattered. Even the mountains collapsed from the impact, and dozens of terrifying cracks appeared on the ground, extending for more than 10 kilometers. Even the tiger-leopard thunder roar could not compare to such power. It could be said that just the sound of Xiaoping's heartbeat could kill countless living beings and shatter the bodies of demons and monsters. Walala, as his heart beat strongly, Xiaoping could sense a huge amount of blood surging out from the depths of his dark gold heart. It was dark gold in color, and densely packed infernal golden crow runes seemed to appear within. It was like a river, rumbling and flowing into his limbs and bones, entering every corner of his body. The transformation was progressing rapidly. Every cell in his body was rapidly transforming into flames. What's going on? My entire body has elementalized. Xiaoping's eyes flashed. He suddenly discovered that not only was his entire body emitting flames, but his entire body had turned into flames. Every drop of blood seemed to have turned into lava. Every bone, every meridian, Even every strand of hair had turned into dark gold flames. They burned fiercely and emitted endless heat and energy. He was like a flaming giant walking in hell. He had turned into a flaming creature. Vaguely, an infernal golden crow seemed to have appeared behind him, roaring at the sky like a totem. If someone saw the current Xiaoping, they would definitely be scared to death, because Xiaoping's body was burning. The flames spread out, melting the rocks and the ground into lava. With a slight wave of his hand, he would create a flaming storm and form volcanoes. Even when he breathed or yawned, the air he exhaled would become a terrifying flaming storm. It was enough to instantly destroy a 1,000 meters tall mountain. Even if Xia Ping sat on the spot, without moving, just the flames coming out from his pores would completely change the surrounding hundreds of thousands of kilometers. The entire region was surrounded by terrifying flames, turning into a sea of fire. Mountains were burning, communicating with the lava deep in the Earth's mantle and erupting from time to time. Rumble, when the last cell in his body had been transformed into flames, Xiaoping sensed a tremendous amount of information surging in from the depths of his bloodline. It was the inheritance that was engraved in the depths of the golden crow of Hell's bloodline. He immediately knew that after he awakened 1 billion infernal golden crow cells, he would obtain a new bloodline mystique. Its blood rebirth. Xiaoping's eyes revealed a terrifying golden light that pierced through the void. He was overjoyed and incomparably excited. When he awakened 1 billion infernal golden crow cells, his body immediately transformed and transformed. He actually obtained the mysterious blood rebirth bloodline divine art. With this mystique, he wouldn't die even if his hands or legs were chopped off, his heart was pierced, or even his head was chopped off. As long as he had a drop of blood left, he would be able to rebirth. Although it wasn't as terrifying as the immortal sage's undying body, where he could be reborn even if he only had one cell left, this mystique was still extremely terrifying. It was equivalent to obtaining half an undying body, half a step into the immortal realm. Even if he were to fight against an immortal sage now, he wouldn't be afraid. If they really fought, it would probably take a year before a winner could be decided, unless one side's stamina was exhausted. It could be said that this mystique had greatly increased his ability to protect himself. The heaven's tribulation is here. At this moment, Xiaoping suddenly felt his heart palpitate. He raised his head and saw that the sky was already filled with dark clouds, covering an area of 1 billion kilometers. At the same time, these dark clouds kept spinning, creating a terrifying whirlpool. It seemed to be communicating with the source energy in the deepest part of fiery hell, triggering the tribulation power in the deepest part of fiery hell. The energy of these lightning tribulations kept gathering, emitting a terrifying destructive aura. Occasionally, tribulation lightning would appear in the depths of the dark clouds, like a lightning dragon swimming. It's actually 108 lightning tribulations, and it's the unique lightning tribulations from hell, 9 underworld flaming lightning. Xiaoping immediately sensed how terrifying the lightning tribulations in the sky were. Compared to when he awakened 100 million infernal golden crow cells, it was many times more powerful. It actually formed 108 lightning tribulations. Perhaps this had a lot to do with his sudden increase in strength. As a result, it angered the universe's source energy and communicated with fiery hell's power, resulting in this astonishing lightning tribulations. At this moment, in the depths of the dark clouds in the sky, spherical lightning bolts kept rolling. They also contained the power of tribulation fire, as if the entire dark clouds were condensed from 9 underworld flaming lightning. Each spherical flame seemed to contain densely packed hell's runes, as if they were engraved with countless information. They kept burning, causing the surrounding space to collapse and spatial caverns to appear. This region was filled with a deathly stillness. The countless fiendish demons that were rushing over from afar also saw this scene. All of them were scared half to death and involuntarily stopped in their tracks. They widened their eyes and raised their heads to look at the sky, trembling. Damn, that's 9 underworld flaming lightning. the most terrifying lightning tribulations from fiery hell. Why would it appear here? Just how did it appear? Many fiendish demons cursed. The sudden appearance of a large patch of tribulation clouds had indeed given all of them a fright, causing their faces to turn pale. Holy shit, that's 9 underworld flaming lightning. Even an immortal lord would be heavily injured and their soul damaged if they encountered it. Small fries like us will basically die if we touch it. We can't get any closer. This patch of tribulation clouds is just too big. It's at least 1 billion kilometers wide. Getting closer means death. No matter what treasure appears, we can't get close right now. Otherwise, we'll definitely be struck to death by the 9 underworld flaming lightning. This is a terrifying lightning tribulation that counters us fiendish demons and nether ghosts. Just what is it that triggered the 9 underworld flaming lightning? Could some monster have appeared? The fiendish demons that had rushed over all wanted to retreat, no longer daring to approach the spot where the light pillar had appeared. Although they all wanted to know what had happened there, what treasures had appeared, and whether there were any fortuitous encounters there, the appearance of the 9 underworld flaming lightning had completely dispelled all their thoughts. Chapter 2086. 9 underworld flame lightning actually appeared. What a powerful lightning calamity. Near the tribulation clouds, a 15-meter tall, shark-headed demon appeared. The moment it appeared, the void distorted, the world shook, and a phenomenon appeared. A dark ocean seemed to appear behind it. In the depths of the ocean, there seemed to be ferocious demon sharks devouring enemy corpse beasts. It was filled with a bloody stench. This was Sea Shark Demon, an immortal rank overlord, Sea Shark Overlord. Its eyes flickered, staring at the huge tribulation clouds in the sky, clearly fearful. Sea Shark Overlord, I didn't expect you to come too. You also want to get involved in this mess. At this moment, a tall rock giant also broke through the void and arrived here instantly. Its body emitted an intense aura that seemed to shake the world. Its body contained an unparalleled power. It was Rock Overlord. Rock Overlord? Sea Shark Overlord squinted its eyes and stared at the rock giant in front of it. It thought it was the fastest, but Rock Overlord was not slow either, closely following behind. It originally wanted to be the first to arrive and snatch the treasure, but now it seemed like that plan would fail. Haha, Rock Overlord, a treasure is about to appear in this place. Who would miss out on such an opportunity? Since you can come, Overlord Sea Shark can naturally come as well. Don't tell me you think that the fiery hell is your territory? With a boom, another huge spatial tunnel appeared nearby. A pitch-black, mud-like monster flew out of the wormhole. From a pile of black mud, only 2 white eyes could be seen. It looked eerie and eerie. The white eyes seemed to contain an unfathomable curse power, sending chills down people's spines. And this mud-like monster was Swamp Overlord. It clearly did not get along with Rock Overlord. The moment it arrived, it started mocking and arguing. Swamp Overlord, long time no see. Your mouth is still as smelly as before. Do you want to fight me to the death? You should know that I'm not in a good mood right now. I don't mind giving you a good lesson. Rock Overlord sneered. Its body emitted dense, killing intent, unwilling to show weakness. Previously, because of the traitor of the burning demons, the Yiksha army had been destroyed, and it was already filled with anger. Now that the Swamp Overlord was provoking it, it wanted to fight to the death with the Swamp Overlord. If there's a chance, I wouldn't mind fighting you here, but now is not the time. The Swamp Overlord cackled. It looked into the distance, as if it had sensed something. Rumble, the void trembled. Almost at the same time, wormholes opened up in the nearby space. A total of 6 wormholes opened up, emitting a terrifying demonic aura at the same time. It almost dyed the sky black and devoured countless rays of sunlight. It was as if a peerless demon was about to be born. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 6 immortal rank overlords walked out of the 6 wormholes. Their auras were not inferior to Rock Overlord, Swamp Overlord, and Sea Shark Overlord. Clearly, the 9 great immortal rank overlords of flaming hell had appeared at the same time. This could be said to be an unprecedented gathering in flaming hell. It was enough to shake the structure of Fire Crow Hell World. Because for 9 undying lords to appear at the same place, who knew how many tens of thousands of years had passed, the moment they appeared, they saw each other's hostility and wariness. If there were only 2 of them, they might immediately kill each other. However, with 9 immortal rank overlords appearing, they were wary of each other and kept each other in check. They did not dare to act recklessly. After all, any injury or weakness in this place would probably cause them to be killed by the other 8 great overlords. This was the cruelty of Hellworld. The strong preyed on the weak. Do you know what's going on? Why did the 9 underworld flame lightning appear? Is it a demon undergoing tribulation, or is it the birth of some powerful hell treasure? Asked Sea Shark Overlord. Kiki, it shouldn't be a demon undergoing tribulation. Even if it was a demon advancing to immortal rank, such a lightning tribulation would not appear. After all, the 9 underworld flame lightning is a tribulation lightning that can even kill us immortal rank overlords. The swamp overlord cackled. After all, if such a tribulation lightning could even kill an immortal rank demon, how could a normal demon advance to immortal rank? This was completely impossible. A hell treasure has appeared, and it can actually trigger the 9 underworld flame lightning. Looks like this treasure is not to be underestimated. An undying lord's eyes flickered with greed. If it could obtain that mysterious and powerful hell treasure, its strength would probably immediately surpass the other 8 great overlords and become the true overlord of flaming hell. Immediately, it had an intense urge to charge in front of all the overlords, enter the center of the tribulation lightning, and snatch that treasure for itself. You want to get close to the tribulation lightning and take the risk. Rock Overlord immediately saw through this overlord's thoughts and sneered. I advise you not to have such thoughts. The 9 underworld flame lightning's power is not to be underestimated. If you get close, you'll be mistaken for a demon undergoing tribulation. You'll be struck by lightning and burned by fire. Even an immortal body will die without a grave. The reason it warned was not out of good intentions. It was merely worried that this overlord would act rashly and cause the tribulation lightning to spread, harming the innocent. That overlord heard this and snorted coldly. Although it was displeased, seeing the 9 underworld flame lightning in the depths of the void, it revealed a look of fear and didn't dare to act rashly. After all, the 9 underworld flame lightning's fame had resounded in flaming hell for far too long. Countless demons were terrified. There had even been an immortal rank overlord who had died to the 9 underworld flame lightning. Then what do? Do we have no choice but to wait for the tribulation lightning to end? Asked another undying lord. The only thing we could do now is wait. Of course, if any of you aren't afraid of death, feel free to charge in. I won't stop you, said Rock Overlord indifferently, its gaze calm. The other undying lords glanced at each other, as if weighing each other's thoughts and strength. After thinking for a moment, they all decided to temporarily give up on charging into the depths of the tribulation lightning. Because the enemies here were not just the 9 underworld flame lightning. The most important and strongest enemies were the other 8 immortal rank demon overlords. Even if they could resist the 9 underworld flame lightning's power, they would probably be heavily injured. If they encountered the other 8 immortal rank demons while heavily injured, they would probably die without a grave. Chapter 2087. Immortal rank lords appeared. Currently, Xia Ping was in the center of the tribulation clouds. The moment the 9 immortal rank lords appeared, he immediately sensed their powerful demonic auras. He knew that these lords had appeared, as well as the threat and killing intent they were sending over. If not for the lightning tribulation blocking the way, these immortal rank demons would have already charged in. Of course, he could even kill Demon Sage with a curse. He had countless trump cards, so he was not afraid of these immortal rank demons. Moreover, he had awakened 1 billion golden crow cells and obtained the blood rebirth bloodline mystique. His strength had increased by leaps and bounds. He could not be mentioned in the same breath as before. Hence, he only casually glanced over and focused on facing the tribulation. After all, The 108 waves of 9 underworld flame lightning were the most lethal and terrifying tribulation. If he could not block it, he would die. Rumble, just at this moment, the tribulation clouds rumbled. The lightning tribulation power brewed to the extreme, as if it could not wait any longer. The 9 underworld fire thunder descended from the sky, and one meteor-like fireball after another smashed down, containing a terrifying destructive power. Its might was like that of a nuclear bomb. Every 9 underworld flame lightning had the power to destroy a planet. They could pierce through the ground. The flames contained within were enough to turn the boundless domain into a sea of fire, burning the void. In the distance, many demons saw this and sensed the tribulation fire descending. They were also terrified. Fortunately, they did not foolishly charge into the tribulation clouds, or they would die without a doubt. Hell Forge. Without a word, Xiaoping formed a seal with both hands. Endless flames and golden crow runes surged out from the depths of his body, quickly condensing into a huge dark golden hellforge. The furnace appeared in the air, and there were many strange phenomena. It was as if countless hellish planes were appearing in the depths of the furnace. Countless gods and demons roared, and rare beasts flew about. Scorching light shot out from the furnace like a sun, giving off eternal heat and piercing through the boundless darkness. One by one, the 9 hells hellfire lightning descended, causing massive waves to rise up around them. However, before they could do anything, the hellfire crucible sucked them up like raindrops falling into the sea, where they were sucked up into nothing. These lightning and flames tried to destroy the entire furnace, but the hell forge trembled. Hell scriptures appeared from the depths of the furnace, instantly suppressing the tribulation power. Crash! Instantly, the tribulation power was absorbed by the hellfire crucible, transforming into pure power that surged into Xiaoping's limbs and bones. The golden crow of hell cells in the depths of his body were also awakening, surpassing 1 billion golden crow of hell cells. In the depths of his body, endless energy surged, flowing into his limbs and bones. Every meridian, every blood vessel was like a terrifying flame dragon. To the current Xiaoping, the 9 underworld flaming thunder was simply a supreme tonic that allowed his cultivation to advance by leaps and bounds. The spiritual power on his body was also rising, and the 9 violet kingdom dimensions were trembling. As Xiaoping greedily devoured the pure power, the hell spear and morning staff began to vibrate and buzz as they appeared on their own. They seemed to have also devoured the majestic energy of a 9 underworld fire thunder from Xiaoping's body and obtained a huge amount of energy to replenish themselves. That was especially true of the hell spear. After devouring so much energy, it seemed to have reached a critical point and had broken through a seal. It glowed with dark gold light, and the spear itself was covered in hell script. Instantly, a massive amount of information flooded into Xiaoping's sea of consciousness. This is a consummate art from hell. Fiend's suppressing spear. Xiaoping trembled, and his eyes shone with golden light. He immediately received the information from the hell spear, which was a consummate art. Fiend's suppressing spear. It had a total of 7 forms. Earlier, he had acquired the first form, nature, and the second form, slaughter. Now, he had acquired the third form, creation, and even the fourth form, destruction. Rumble, in the blink of an eye, Xiaoping felt his nascent divinity being dragged into an empty space by the hell spear. He suddenly appeared in the middle of a scorching hell. A gray figure stood on the ground. He wore black armor and held the hell spear tightly. His aura was like an abyss, and he struck out marks in the depths of the void. The marks left behind in the void left behind terrifying imprints. The endless profoundness of hell's martial arts poured into the depths of Xiaoping's sea of consciousness crazily, raising his martial arts cultivation to an unprecedented level. Fiend's suppressing spear, third form, creation. Xiaoping instinctively followed the figure in the illusion and performed this consummate art. He held the hell spear tightly, leaving behind marks in the void. It was as if it had vibrated hundreds of millions of times. Every time the spear pierced through, there seemed to be endless hell's script surging out, playing out pictures of hell that contained endless vitality. It was as if the spear had really created a hellish world. When this hellish world came crashing down, the void trembled and covered the sky and earth, sealing off every corner. There was nowhere to hide, and even gods and demons were suppressed and sealed. He immediately knew how powerful this move was. It was completely a sealing consummate art. When the spear pierced out, it created hell and suppressed gods and demons in the depths of hell, making them unable to move. Hell Fiend's suppressing spear, fourth form destruction. At this moment, Xiaoping's aura once again underwent a world-shaking change. He no longer exuded vitality, but a terrifying black aura of destruction. It was as if he was a demon god that walked out from the depths of chaos, bringing with it the power of death. Dong! He pierced out with the spear, gathering all the magic power in his body. The entire universe, the entire hell, the entire plane world, earth, wind, fire, and other elemental powers gathered on this spear. The tip of the spear emitted a gray aura, shining with the radiance of divinity. This was like a spear from the god of the underworld, wielding the authority of the god of the underworld, granting death to all living beings. Even immortal creatures would have their souls plundered by this spear. It could be said that this power already contained the intrinsic power of the hellish world, symbolizing the authority of death. It surpassed everything, and any matter would be completely destroyed under this spear. Xiaoping felt that under this spear, coupled with the power of the hell spear, even immortal demons would be severely injured on the spot. If they were hit a few more times, even immortal demons would die. With a crack, the void was cut by this spear, and a spatial crack that was several kilometers long appeared. Chapter 2088. At this moment, Xiaoping felt an unprecedented affinity with the hell spear. It was as if he could finally unleash a bit of the spear's power. He could also sense the joy coming from within the spear. It seemed that it had been a long time since it had unleashed this kind of power. The entire spear was trembling. At this moment, Xiaoping sensed that the other hell weapon on him, the morning staff, was also changing. It trembled, and a vast amount of white aura surged into his sea of consciousness. This white aura seemed to transform into wriggling hell characters, forming a scripture of hell that was engraved into his nascent divinity. This is the ultimate technique of hell contained within the morning staff, the 5 forms of soul subduing. Xiaoping's eyes shone brightly. He immediately knew that the morning staff was transmitting a hell martial art. This was a peerless technique, no weaker than the hell demon subduing spear. It had a total of 5 forms: stun, slow, soul lock, soul shatter, and soul extermination. Although the forms were very simple, each form contained boundless power. It countered nether ghosts and targeted the soul. Moreover, it was an area of effect attack. When used, it was practically unstoppable. If it was used to ambush an enemy, few would be able to withstand a sneak attack from the back. This was especially true for the first form, stun. When the staff struck, the enemy would immediately fall unconscious. As for how long, it would depend on the enemy's willpower and strength. The second form, slow, could emit a white light from the depths of the morning staff that could slow down the enemy's movements. The enemy would move like a snail, unable to escape even if they wanted to. The third form, soul lock, could lock onto the enemy's soul. Even if they fled to the ends of hell, they would be marked and captured. No one could escape the pursuit of the morning staff. The fourth and fifth forms were pure killing techniques that could directly destroy the enemy's nascent divinity. Strange, why do these abilities seem so sinister? Don't tell me that the morning staff's infernal prison guards all like to sneak attack people from the back? Xiaoping blinked. He felt that the morning staff's abilities were strange and powerful. They seemed to exist specifically to ambush enemies. The morning stick didn't get angry at all when it heard those words. It seemed to be very proud of itself as it bounced up and down. It was saying that as long as it could kill and capture its enemies, it didn't care what method it used. It wasn't something a hothead like the Hell Spear could compare to. The Hell Spear had an arrogant look on his face, as if he didn't want to be associated with the morning staff. He said nothing. Rumble, up in the sky, the tribulation clouds seemed to have sensed that Xia Ping's strength had improved a step further, and the tribulation energy became even more violent. Whistling sounds rang out, the wind blew, and the clouds surged. Even more netherworld flaming thunder surged out from the depths of the black hole. Suddenly, the void trembled, and black dragons formed from the power of hell surged out from the depths of the black hole. Their bodies were covered in hellish runes. This was the dragon of destruction. It would destroy anything that tried to resist the will of heaven. Bang, bang, bang. These black dragons roared and spewed out destructive bolts of netherworld fire thunder. Like a dragon's breath, they destroyed everything in their surroundings, causing ripples to appear in the void. Good timing. Xia Ping was fearless. Wielding the Hell Spear, he seemed to have transformed into an underworld god. The totem of the golden crow of hell appeared behind him, and endless flames burned on his body. He directly fought the tribulation lightning to the end. His spear smashed through the tribulation lightning, and at the same time, he used the hellfire furnace to devour the energy of the tribulation lightning. The energy within his body was also rising, and the cells of the golden crow of hell were also madly awakening. His strength was also increasing at a geometrical rate. In the distance, such an intense battle naturally couldn't escape the notice of the 9 immortal rank overlords. They also discovered that the one undergoing tribulation was not some treasure, but a demon, and a burning demon at that. What's going on? It's actually a burning demon undergoing tribulation. Is it planning to step into the immortal rank? Is flaming hell about to give birth to the 10th immortal rank? Seeing such a scene, the swamp overlord was shocked. Previously, it thought that this was not some demon undergoing tribulation, but some treasure that had appeared and was facing tribulation. However, looking at it now, it was like a slap to its face. It was indeed a demon undergoing tribulation. Damn, it actually encountered a terrifying tribulation like 9 underworld flame lightning while advancing to the immortal rank. Just how deep is its accumulation? Just how powerful is its background? If it advances to the immortal rank, won't it be invincible in the immortal realm? Some immortal rank overlords were also shocked. They could sense how terrifying the burning devil that was undergoing his tribulation was. To be able to resist the 9 nether hellfire lightning to such an extent, it was something that none of them could do. Moreover, it had yet to advance to the immortal rank. If it really did advance to the immortal rank, wouldn't it be heaven-defying? In an instant, all the immortal rank overlords felt a deep sense of threat. Although flaming hell was huge, it could not contain 10 immortal rank overlords, and an invincible immortal rank overlord at that. If this burning demon succeeded in passing tribulation, there would be no place for them in flaming hell. They might even die at the hands of this burning demon. Burning demon, it's that damned burning demon. It actually appeared in this place, and is undergoing tribulation here. At this moment, when the rock overlord saw Xia Ping's appearance, a violent rage surged from the depths of its heart. It felt an unprecedented rage, as if it had met its enemy, and its eyes were exceptionally red. Oh, rock overlord, do you recognize this burning demon? The swamp overlord and the other demons looked at the rock overlord. Of course I recognize it. Even if it turns to ashes, I will still recognize it. The rock overlord snorted coldly. It's this traitor that killed my trusted general, Yishur-san, caused the vanguard to rebel, and even destroyed the Iksha Corps, causing my rock city to suffer heavy losses. I have an irreconcilable grudge against it. Could it be that our swamp core was also destroyed by it? The swamp overlord also recalled what had happened previously. In order to fight over an underworld stone vein, the swamp core was destroyed. It previously thought that it was the rock overlord's doing, but now it seemed that it was the burning demon's doing. It's definitely that bastard's doing. The rock overlord gritted its teeth and said, it's probably just a little bit away from advancing to the immortal rank. When it saw an underworld stone vein, it could no longer control itself, and attacked, plundering the underworld's stone vein to strengthen itself. It felt that it had instantly seen through the burning demon's scheme. Previously, the burning demon had pretended to be benevolent and became its subordinate in order to borrow its strength to gather cultivation resources. Now that the burning demon had obtained the resources, it kicked it away and even poached its subordinates, causing it to suffer heavy losses. Chapter 2089. I didn't expect that burning demon to do such things. The other undying lords looked pitifully at the rock overlord. To actually recruit such a subordinate, it was really unlucky. Not only did it not get any benefits, it even caused trouble. However, thinking about it, if a demon had the ability to become undying as long as it had a bit of ambition, how would it be willing to serve other undying lords? Betrayal was inevitable. This was nothing special in Hellworld. Everyone, the rock overlord's eyes flashed with a cold light. This burning demon is a traitor. He's a treacherous person who doesn't shrink from any crimes. He's the type of person who swears when he eats. For such a fiendish demon to encounter such a calamity, once he ascends, he'll become even more terrifying. And with this guy's personality, once it grows, we won't have a good time. We might even die at its hands and get devoured. The other undying lords couldn't help but nod. This was also what they were worried about. Even if the burning demon didn't do such things, they wouldn't stop worrying. This was planning ahead. I won't say anything more. Let's attack together. We'll break a path and force the 9 underworld fiery thunder away. We'll attack its body directly. I want it to fail at the last step and die without a burial. The rock overlord was filled with killing intent. All right, the other 8 undying lords nodded. They glanced at each other and immediately made a decision. Flaming hell was too small. It couldn't contain the appearance of a 10th undying lord. Not to mention an existence that might be above other undying lords. This was even more intolerable. In an instant, Rock Overlord, Swamp Overlord, Sea Shark Overlord, and the other immortal rank overlords immediately worked together. They circulated their massive demonic energy, causing demonic energy to soar into the sky. They gathered all their mental energies together and formed a black river. Rumble. Immediately, countless 9 underworld flame lightning were forced away by this black river, exploding, colliding, and disintegrating. It basically cleared out all the lightning energy in the surroundings. Xiaoping stood in the middle of the tribulation clouds with his hands behind his back, resisting the tribulation. At this time, 100 underworld flame lightning had already descended. Most of them had disappeared. The surrounding lightning energy was much thinner, not as dense and vast as before. Therefore, the 9 undying lords weren't as afraid as before. Burning Devil, you actually dared to kill my trusted general, destroy my Yixiao army, and steal my Netherstone mine. Today is the day you die. Go to the Yellow Springs and repent. The Rock Overlord was the first to attack. It was incomparably valiant. With its body as the center, the demonic chi in a radius of several 100 million kilometers was absorbed into its body. The phantom of an ancient titan seemed to appear behind it. It was unknown when it had taken out a giant black axe. The axe was over 1,000 feet long. It did not want to waste any more words with Xiaoping. Instead, it chopped down on Xiaoping's head. The power of this axe was boundlessly terrifying. Shockingly, a black trajectory appeared, as if it was splitting the sky in half and tearing the nearby void apart. Any fiendish demon could feel the terrifying sharpness of the blade, as if it could even cut the earth in half. And this time, it wasn't just the Rock Overlord. The Swamp Overlord, Sea Shark Overlord, and the other 8 undying lords weren't to be outdone. They all used their full strength, blasting down one after another. In the blink of an eye, millions upon millions of beams of black light formed the power of magical laws and the power of hell, causing the lands and the sky to shatter. At this moment, Xiaoping also felt waves of killing intent coming from behind him. He turned around and looked, standing with his hands behind his back. He did not make any special movements. In the next second, the attacks of the 9 undying lords landed on Xiaoping. Immediately, A Kuan-Peng domain appeared on Xiaoping's body. Tens of millions of kilometers were surrounded by a blue ocean. Many Kuan-Pengs swam around. Dong dong dong, including the rock overlord's axe and the other 8 undying lords' full-strength attacks. They suddenly discovered that when their attacks landed on the burning devil, it was like they had sunk into a swamp, like they were hitting cotton. All the power had completely disappeared and was swallowed up by the ocean. It was as if all the power of sharpness was useless. It was like all rivers flowing into the ocean, majestic and boundless. They couldn't see the end of this ocean. It was all-encompassing. Impossible. The rock overlord and the other fiendish demons opened their eyes wide. They couldn't believe that their full-strength attacks were blocked by this fiendish demon that hadn't even reached immortal rank. Moreover, he was completely unharmed. This was too absurd. There was no reason to believe it. "You're courting death." Xiaoping opened his eyes, revealing a shocking cold glint. A terrifying whirlpool formed in his body, producing a massive, devouring power. Walala from the sky. The 9 underworld flame, lightning raining down, were rapidly devoured by his body before they could even get within 10 kilometers of his body. It was as if they had fallen into a black hole, unable to cause any ripples. Right now, the 9 underworld flame lightning could no longer pose any threat to him. With a loud boom, Xiaoping took a step forward. Instantly, heaven and earth shook. Many strange phenomena appeared. The void trembled, as if the entire infernal realm was rumbling and shaking. All the fiendish demons in the infernal realm felt an inconceivable vibration coming from the depths of the void. Even their souls were trembling. They couldn't resist it at all. Their chests were so tight that they almost vomited blood. Their hearts pounded intensely. In the next second, the rock overlord saw the burning devil take out a dark golden spear. It stood in the void, like a god of the underworld walking out from the depths of chaos. It controlled the power of death. It was emotionless, symbolizing the majesty of infernal realm. It seemed benevolent, like death, like emotionless, like tyrannical, like gentle, like it contained thousands of faces, especially those dark golden eyes. The depths of those pupils seemed to contain terrifying energy, containing the essence of infernal realm's power. It was like an ancient god lived within. Just a glance at it made its hair stand on end, as if it was being stared at by the god of the underworld. "You must die for blaspheming the god of the underworld." Xiaoping took a step forward. He seemed to be wearing a battle robe. Holding the spear, a terrifying dark golden flame gathered in the depths of the spear. It surged out, causing the void within a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers to tremble. Countless characters of hell surged out from the spear. At this moment, it seemed like infernal realm after infernal realm was created. Many strange phenomena appeared. Bang! A black light flashed past. The rock overlord didn't know what had happened. In the next second, its huge body was pierced through, and a huge hole appeared in its chest. Chapter 2090. Damn it! The rock lord glared at Xiaoping. It felt extremely humiliated. Its body and chest were penetrated by a demon that had not even reached the immortal realm. This was a great humiliation. It even felt a trace of fear in its heart. If it did not possess an immortal body, it would have been stabbed to death by that spear. Whoosh! A huge amount of energy gathered from its body. Its broken chest rapidly recovered. It was as if the particles in the void had also condensed into rocks and filled in the gaps in its body. Hell's sacred art. Inferno mountain-crushing axe. In an instant, the rock lord was enraged again. It wielded the black axe and slashed at Xiaoping. This time, it was using all its strength and igniting its blood vitality. Immediately, the axe communicated with the origin energy of the Inferno Hell and absorbed an endless amount of flame power. The axe was as heavy as a mountain and as fast as lightning. It only left a shocking cold flash in the air. It was extremely violent. Countless hellish marks appeared on the surface of the axe, twisting like earthworms. It was as if the axe was engraved with hellish scriptures that contained endless energy. Even an immortal rank demon would not dare to take this axe head-on. Inferno Demon Suppressing Spear. Third style, Creation. Not even bothering to look, Xia Ping swung the Hell Spear, causing numerous scars to appear in the air. In the blink of an eye, numerous volcanoes, rivers of flame, and rifts appeared in midair. These marks outlined the terrain of the Inferno Hell. It was as if Inferno Hell had descended from the void. The spear had also created a boundless and majestic Inferno Hell. The other immortal rank demons could see that this Inferno Hell that existed between the void and the real seemed to be filled with densely packed hell runes. It possessed a terrifying sealing power. Dong! At this moment, the axe struck the surface of the Inferno Hell, producing a clanging sound and sparks. The Rock Lord tried to split the hell in half, but the hell remained undamaged. This was as laughable as an ant trying to shake a tree. Impossible. Rock Overlord's mental state crumbled. The hellish divine ability it used at full power was enough to destroy a city or a country. It was invincible. Even other immortal rank demons did not dare to face it head-on. It was the undisputed strongest expert in flaming hell. However, this damned burning devil before it could easily block its full-powered slash. It couldn't believe the ridiculous scene before its eyes. Rumble. But before it could react, the Hell Spear's infernal hell slammed into the Rock Overlord. Instantly, countless hell scriptures wrapped around the Rock Overlord like chains of order, wrapping it up like a dumpling. It couldn't move. Damn thing, what's going on? Why can't I break free? Damned burning devil, what did you do to me? The Rock Overlord's fine hair stood on end, going crazy. It tried to do everything it could to struggle free, but no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't break free. It could only fall to the ground, crazily screaming, panicking. Moreover, the more it struggled, the tighter the hell scriptures on its body became. It felt as if every hell scripture was engraved into its flesh, causing its primordial spirit great pain. Obediently accept your death. You can't escape. Xiaoping raised his brows. He felt that this absolute art was pretty good. It could even temporarily seal an immortal rank demon. This was simply an unparalleled technique against immortals. Even if it couldn't kill the other party temporarily, it could still seal the other party. Stop, release Rock Overlord immediately. Burning Devil, how dare you? To think that you would dare to offend your superiors. Attack, kill it. This guy is too strong. It has endless potential. If we don't kill it now, it will become a huge problem in the future. Right at this moment, the other 8 immortal lords could no longer hold themselves back. It had yet to reach the immortal realm, yet it was already able to beat the Rock Overlord into such a sorry state. If it really managed to break through, all of them would die. Although they had a grudge against Rock Overlord, they had no choice but to work together against a powerful enemy like the Burning Devil. Otherwise, a disaster would befall them. Meteor fall, sun, and moon lose light. In the blink of an eye, 2 undying realm demons rushed over. They attacked with their palms, displaying supreme killing techniques. The void changed, and the universe was reversed. The entire sky seemed to darken. Blazing meteors fell from the sky one after another. It was as if the stars were shining brightly, forming a boundless starfield. Every meteor contained boundless killing intent. This strike had the aura to crush the ages and push the 9 continents. Wind calamity, fire calamity, lightning calamity. Another 3 undying demons attack from another angle. They summoned natural disasters as if they were disasters themselves, containing boundless calamity energy. Walala, in an instant, the clouds in the sky changed. Violent winds howled, creating a black storm that destroyed everything in its path. Every wind blade could tear apart mountains and penetrate the earth. Volcanoes rose from the ground one after another, spewing flames. Thousands of volcanoes exploded at the same time, creating a surging flood of flames that seemed to be able to drown everything. Black clouds gathered, and black lightning rumbled. It seemed like the lightning tribulation had become stronger. It activated the origin of the lightning hell, forming thousands of black lightning bolts that bombarded down. Every bolt of lightning was like a demon of the lightning element, wielding a spear as they bombarded Xiaoping. Whirling prayer beads. Xiaoping didn't move. He immediately threw out a low-grade saint artifact and activated the whirling prayer beads' power. Immediately, a Buddha kingdom descended in the hell world. There seemed to be countless Buddhas chanting in the depths of the Buddha kingdom. With his body as the center, a huge Buddha kingdom was formed. The crystal world shone with golden light. The surroundings were condensed, and densely packed Buddhist scriptures were engraved. At the same time, the Buddha kingdom shone with boundless golden light. It seemed to tear apart the darkness of hell and purify all darkness. The surrounding black mist let out sizzling sounds. Dong, dong, dong. At this instant, the 5 immortal rank demons charged over. Their respective hell mystic abilities ruthlessly bombarded the Buddha country. However, they were easily blocked, unable to shake the Buddha country in the slightest. What kind of joke is this? This is a magic treasure of the human race. How do you have it? And how do you control this power? The 6 immortal rank demons couldn't believe it, because the power of humans and demons was completely different. Even if they obtained a magic treasure of the human race, they might not be able to use it. However, this burning demon in front of them could actually use a saint artifact of the human race. It was unbelievable. Chapter 2091. It's none of your business. You're all demons that are about to die. Why do you care? Xiaoping sneered. He didn't plan on explaining anything to them. As expected, this burning demon has a huge secret. That's right. Such a powerful demon can't be unknown in flaming hell. I think this burning demon might have come to our flaming hell from another plane. Such a powerful demon can't just appear out of nowhere. That's possible. That would explain everything. Maybe it's a demon from a higher plane of hell with a strong inheritance. It might even have received the inheritance of an hell prison guard. Whether it's true or not, we'll know once we capture it or kill it and plunder its treasures. Killing intent flashed in the eyes of many immortal rank demons. Previously, they only wanted to kill because of Xiaoping's threat. Now it was different. They were driven by benefits. In that case, there was even more reason why they couldn't let this mysterious burning demon escape. Thinking to this point, they activated the demonic energy in their bodies and attacked from all directions. They turned into rays of black light that were filled with destructive power, like the light of hell. Xiaoping did not back down. He wielded Hell Spear and whirling prayer beads to fight back. Bang, bang, bang. Immediately, a series of explosions resounded in the sky. At the same time, terrifying destructive power was generated. The battlefield spread over hundreds of millions of kilometers. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Many ordinary fiendish demons who had come to watch the show also saw this scene. Oh my God, what's happening up ahead? There's actually an immortal lord's aura. Many demons were trembling in fear. It was as if the wisps of aura coming from afar were enough to crush the heavens and crush most of them into dust. They were unable to resist. Rock Lord, Swamp Lord, Sea Shark Lord. Are you kidding me? The 9 immortal rank lords of our flaming hell have all appeared. They're fighting against a burning demon. There was a multi-eyed demon with sharp eyes that immediately saw the battle on the battlefield. However, it would have been better if it hadn't seen it. Now that it saw it, it was so scared that its soul almost flew out of its body. It trembled uncontrollably. Usually, the appearance of an immortal rank demon was terrifying enough. It was something that could shake flaming hell. But now, 9 immortal rank demons had appeared. Moreover, the 9 immortal rank demons were even working together to attack a burning devil. This was an unprecedented battle in flaming hell. What's that burning demon? It can attract 9 immortal rank lords to attack it. What's its background? Many demons guessed the origin of that burning demon. Not sure. I don't recognize it at all. I've never seen such a powerful burning demon in flaming hell. Maybe it's not of our flaming hell, but from another hell world. That's possible. Otherwise, how can it resist an immortal rank lord of flaming hell? Perhaps the 9th hell fiery thunder was triggered by this burning demon? What kind of joke is that? With 9 undying overlords working together, How could there be an enemy that can't be killed? No matter how powerful this burning devil is, it can't overturn the heavens. Many of the fiendish demons discussed among themselves. They were all stunned by this unparalleled battle. This was definitely a battle that would leave its name in the fiery hell for all eternity. However, there were also quite a number of fiendish demons that fled in fear. After all, in a battle between immortal rank fiendish demons, any strand of aura that leaked out could severely injure or even tear them to shreds. Therefore, they didn't dare to stay in this place and left one after another. Die, burning demon! At this moment, the battle reached its climax. The 5 immortal-level fiendish demons saw a slight opening in Xiaoping's defense. Cold light flashed in their eyes as they simultaneously used their supreme killer moves. Netherworld King's Killing Palm. In an instant, the 5 great immortal-level demons joined hands at the same time. Their palms slammed down, causing the void to tremble. It was as if an underworld king was summoned, walking out from the depths of the void. The Nether King stretched out a black palm that was covered with countless hellish runes and imprints. It descended from the sky, wanting to crush Xiaoping to the ground. It's useless. Whirling prayer beads, boundless sea of Buddha. Xiaoping was expressionless. He circulated the power of the whirling prayer beads, instantly triggering countless golden lights. These golden lights of Buddha transformed into a golden sea, as if it was a sea of faith encompassing the entire universe. Dong! The Underworld King's palm descended and pressed on the golden sea. Immediately, shocking waves surged, and all the Underworld King's power was devoured cleanly. The 2 powers were also instantly neutralized. Haha, foolish burning demon, I finally found chance. Die! At this moment, a cold voice rang out from the void, appearing behind Xiaoping. The one who had spoken was none other than the Swamp Overlord. It had been hiding in the void for a long time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to kill Xiaoping. Rumble, the Swamp Overlord, turned into a patch of black soil, like a real swamp. Waves surged and contained boundless hellish power. It struck down from above, trapping Xiaoping's entire body. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He immediately discovered that his hands and feet were covered in soil. His body seemed to have fallen into a swamp, and terrifying restraining power appeared all around him. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't escape from the swamp. It's useless. Even if you become an immortal overlord, you can't escape from my hellish divine ability, Swamp Earth. You've already been trapped by me and will die without a grave. The Swamp Overlord's proud voice came from the depths of the swamp. It had turned into a Swamp Earth, and its primordial spirit wandered everywhere. No one knew where its true body was. It could be said that it was truly a terrifying demon with an undying body. It could be killed more than any other demon. As long as a drop of soil wasn't completely destroyed, the Swamp Overlord could continuously revive. Burning demon, you still want to struggle? Obediently faint for me. Before Xiaoping could act, a black illusory figure appeared in another part of the void. It had no form. It was an underworld ghost overlord. It emitted a cold and gloomy aura, as if freezing the void. Bang! In the next second, a violent mental wave surged out from its body and fiercely slammed into Xiaoping's consciousness sea, trying to make Xiaoping dizzy. I've succeeded. Die! Seeing this, the sea shark overlord transformed into a shark and pierced through the void. It instantly arrived beside Xiaoping, opened its fangs, and bit down. Chapter 2092. Haha, it's dead. The burning devil is finally dead. I knew that no matter how strong the burning devil was, it wouldn't be a match for us undying lords. It's just a normal demon before reaching undying. Losing its head means it can't be more dead. Looks like this kid is still so arrogant. Let's see if he can still be so arrogant. Seeing Xiaoping's head get bitten off by the sea shark lord, leaving only half his body, the undying lords were excited. It was as if they had won a war. They knew that no matter how strong the burning devil was, without a head, it was dead for sure. After all, only by reaching the undying realm could one obtain an undying body. The Nether Ghost Lord, Swamp Lord, and Sea Shark Lord were all very pleased. Fortunately, they were strong enough to find the burning devil's weakness. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to kill it so easily. Now that the burning devil was dead, they had gotten rid of a major enemy. They immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Wait, these blood YS, what's going on? Why did they suddenly start burning? At this moment, the Swamp Lord's terrified voice rang out. What? S3. The other Undying Lords immediately looked over and saw that the Swamp Lord had transformed into a swamp made of black soil. However, the black soil seemed to have been contaminated by the burning devil blood YS that had just died. And these blood YS seemed to have a life of their own. They actually turned into lava and started burning. Deep within the flames, there seemed to be a divine bird that flapped its wings and cried out. The dark gold lava immediately started burning, igniting the Swamp Lord's body. If it was a normal flame, it wouldn't be able to burn the Swamp Lord's body. However, this was the infernal golden crow flame, which could use hell energy as fuel. Once it invaded the Swamp Lord's body, it wouldn't be extinguished until the enemy's energy was exhausted. Bastard, these flames, what's going on? Why can't they be extinguished? Why can they harm me? Scram. Scram immediately. The Swamp Lord couldn't help but scream in fear. It discovered that these flames were actually a serious threat to its swamp body. Its undying body seemed to have no way to deal with these flames. Even if its immortal body had the ability to continuously regenerate, the same was true for these flames. They absorbed the life force in its body as fuel, growing and multiplying without end, never extinguishing. It seemed that as long as he did not die, it would continue to burn until his soul disappeared. At this moment, it felt the fear of death. Its entire body was trembling. If it couldn't extinguish the flames on its body, it would be burned to death by the flames sooner or later. When the other Undying Lord saw this, their first thought wasn't to save the Swamp Lord. Instead, they subconsciously took a few steps back, afraid that the flames would spread to them and cause them to suffer the same fate as the Swamp Lord. Damn it, the burning devil isn't dead yet. Suddenly, the Nether Ghost Lord shouted, its eyes fixed on the tank's half-body. While they were talking, the burning demon, who had been thought to be long dead, underwent an earth-shattering change. The blood on his body actually grew again. Originally, every drop of blood, every cell, every strand of hair contained mysterious talismans deep inside. And these talismans? They were inextricably linked to each other. They devoured the energy in the depths of the void, forming a network that rapidly converged and condensed into a head. The void trembled. Xia Ping, whose tank had been half destroyed, revived once more. All of his blood and flesh were regenerating, rapidly returning to its original state. A powerful force erupted from every inch of his tank. Dong! Xia Ping stepped out, causing everything within a radius of billions of kilometers to tremble. Crushing the 9 heavens and 10 earths, it was as though the entire fiery hell was trembling under his feet. After returning to his original state, he was even more powerful and terrifying than before. Every inch of his skin and flesh flickered with a dark golden luster, as if this was the Arhut golden body, or an undying body. Undying body. This guy actually has an undying body. Impossible. What's going on? He clearly didn't condense an undying true soul, nor did he communicate with the essence of hell. How could he cultivate an undying body? But the truth is right before our eyes. This is the power of an undying body. Even if the body is destroyed, it can rapidly regenerate. This is the power of an undying body. Could it be that he took the opportunity to advance to the sempiternal realm? The Undying Lords couldn't believe it. They saw Xia Ping revive once more, with half of his tank restored to its original state. They thought they were dreaming. This was simply too ridiculous. Swamp Lord, do you think you can kill me with these little tricks? What a fool's dream. Today, I'll let you know what it means to have boundless magic power and remarkable abilities. I'll show you what true power is. Xia Ping was reborn once more. He used the blood rebirth mystique and felt that he had gained a deeper understanding of the power of his tank's bloodline. It was as if both his body and soul had been elevated. Hell-suppressing demon spear, fourth form, destruction. Boom! He struck out with his spear. At this moment, it was as if the infernal god had possessed his tank. The infernal golden crow's energy surged out, completely activating the hell spear's internal energy. A black beam of light shot out, tearing apart heaven and earth and destroying the void. It contained boundless deathly aura and the infernal god's authority, enough to kill everything. Stop! Stop right now. The Swamp Lord was scared half to death and panicked. It could clearly feel a fatal killing intent from this black beam of light. Even its true soul felt threatened. It was originally a sneak attack by an immortal rank overlord, so this matter should have been easy to deal with. Killing this burning devil would be an easy task. It wouldn't be a problem at all. However, it never expected that this brat actually had an undying body. Even after half of his tank was destroyed, he could still rapidly revive and return to his peak state. This completely caused it to break down. Because a burning devil with such a low bloodline, a trash-like demon beast, was merely a lucky upstart who obtained a fortuitous encounter. Yet, its strength was so terrifying. How could it not feel terrified? Dong! This black beam of light flashed past, and the Swamp Lord's entire tank was torn apart, turning into a pile of debris. At the same time, the terrifying power of hell invaded the Swamp Lord's tank, instantly tearing apart its true soul and shattering it. All of its soul power was completely obliterated. The swamp body that was originally planning to return to its original state also collapsed, turning into a pile of mud that fell to the ground. Chapter 2093. As expected of an immortal rank overlord, it indeed possesses an enormous amount of soul energy. Xiaoping's eyes glowed. After killing the swamp overlord, he immediately used devouring power to quickly refine the soul energy released by the swamp overlord. Immediately, it produced an enormous amount of soul energy. It was equivalent to the souls of several million peak stage lightning calamity demons. Meanwhile, he sent all these soul crystals to the reincarnation brush. The reincarnation brush also greedily devoured the soul energy, as if it had obtained a great supplement. Xiaoping also clearly sensed that he was getting closer and closer to unsealing the reincarnation brush's first seal. As long as he could kill 2 more immortal rank overlords and devour their soul energy, he would be able to unseal the first seal. Vaguely, he sensed that the first bronze door deep within the reincarnation brush seemed to be showing signs of shattering. No way, it's dead? The swamp overlord was killed? Seeing this scene, Sea Shark Overlord and the other immortal fiendish beasts were shocked. They couldn't believe that the famous Swamp Overlord was killed just like that. When they advanced to immortal rank, they thought that they were already undying existences. Even time could not erase their souls. They did not know how long they had lived in flaming hell, how long they had dominated for. They also thought that they would continue to dominate and grow stronger. Honestly speaking, they did not even know what the fear of death felt like. S3, but now, seeing the undying swamp overlord die in front of them and let out a blood-curdling screech before its death, they immediately broke out in cold sweat and felt like their guts were going to explode. They also recalled the cruel reality. It turned out that they were not immortal existences. As long as they had enough power, they would also die. Such a bloody reality was cruelly displayed in front of them. Monster, he's a monster. We can't keep fighting, we will die. We will all be killed by him. This guy definitely inherited the power of the underworld prison guards and grasped the authority of the underworld god. The first to run was the Nether Ghost Lord. It was frightened by Xia Ping's murderous aura. It was the most sensitive lord to death, and it could clearly feel that the dark gold spear contained enough power to kill its soul. The Swamp Overlord, who should have had an immortal body, was killed by the power of this spear. If it had stayed where it was, it would have died without a doubt. Whoosh! Without saying another word, it immediately transformed into its nether ghost form. It was formless and shadowless as it entered the void, fleeing from this place with extreme speed. It was as fast as it could go. But how could Xiaoping allow the Nether Ghost Lord to escape? He took out another hell treasure, the Morning Boss. He circulated his mana and lightly tapped the void of space. First form of the 5 forms of soul-suppressing technique, dizziness. Dong! Suddenly, an invisible sound wave spread out like a tidal wave. It surged out, layer upon layer, destroying everything as it slammed into the Nether Ghost Overlord's body. Before the Nether Ghost Lord could run more than a few kilometers, its entire body was struck by this attack. The Nether Ghost Lord's body immediately solidified and fell out of the void. At the same time, it let out a shrill cry. Its head was full of bumps, and it felt a bit dizzy. It couldn't use any of its divine abilities at this moment, and it stopped in midair. Swish! Xiaoping gripped the Hell Spear, and his body flashed as he stabbed towards the Nether Ghost Lord. This spear contained a terrifying destructive power that shook the heavens and earth. The tip of the spear gave off a spiraling current that could pierce through everything. "No, don't kill me, spare my life." At that moment, the Nether Ghost Lord finally regained consciousness, but it was already too late. It immediately screamed with all its might, hoping that the burning demon in front of it would spare its life. At the same time, it tried to flee, but it was useless. Dong! This spear instantly pierced through the Nether Ghost's body, and a terrifying destructive power erupted, destroying everything in its path. The Nether Ghost's massive body was immediately shattered into pieces. Its true spirit had also been shattered by the spear, and it could not be more dead. Whoosh! After the Nether Ghost Lord died, it gave off waves of gray soul matter. The reincarnation brush trembled, greedily devouring this enormous soul energy. It continuously trembled, and countless Hell's characters seemed to appear, brewing an even more powerful aura. S3. Deep inside, the first bronze gate was also trembling, as though it was about to fall. All the seals and chains were clanking, as though they were about to be destroyed by this power. As long as I kill one more Undying Lord, the reincarnation brush can undo the first seal. Xiaoping's eyes lit up with excitement. He didn't expect that he would achieve his goal of entering the Hell world so soon. As long as the first seal of the reincarnation brush was removed, his combat strength would be greatly improved. This scene was clearly seen by the other Undying Lords, and they were so scared they peed their pants. Impossible! The Nether Ghost Lord was killed too. Who doesn't know that the Nether Ghost Lord has a formless Nether Ghost body? If he wants to flee, no demon can catch him. But now he was stabbed to death. Some undying demons were dumbfounded, not daring to believe it. What is this? Didn't the Swamp Lord get stabbed to death too? This monster kills Undying Lords like it's nothing. Even if this burning demon hasn't become undying, he's not far from it. One of the undying demons had an ugly expression on his face. I know how he killed the Swamp Lord and Nether Ghost Lord. Sea Shark Lord couldn't help but scream, "Look at the weapons in his hands. Those are the Hell Prison Guard's treasures, Hell Spear and Morning Bee. Damn, how did such treasures end up in this guy's hands? There's no justice in this world." Impossible. Hell Spear, Morning Bee? Wasn't this a legendary weapon that had long been lost in the long river of history? Why did they appear again? It doesn't make sense. Where did he get them from? Rock Lord and the other demons were all stunned. Hearing Sea Shark Lord's reminder, they finally understood and immediately recognized the origins of the two powerful weapons in Xiaoping's hands. If it was the weapon of the legendary Hell Jailer, then killing an immortal rank overlord was not something out of the realm of fantasy. Or rather, it was a matter of course. We're not his match. We're not his match at all. With the Hell weapons, we can't even fight this battle. This encirclement has failed. Let's run. An immortal rank demon shouted and immediately ran away. Chapter 2094. So. The remaining 6 Undying Lords all quickly fled, flying in all directions. They seemed to be using all of their strength, running for their lives, using unprecedented speed. Delta /. This group of disloyal bastards. Rock Lord was furious. It was tied up like a dumpling, unable to move. Even if it wanted to flee, it couldn't do anything. It could only watch helplessly as the other demons fled. Want to run? Is it that simple? Xia Ping wielded the morning boss, channeling his mana and attacking the 6 undying lords. Soul-suppressing 5 techniques, second form. Slow. Walala in an instant. The morning boss's body emitted tens of thousands of gray light rays. They seemed to contain the mysterious power of hell, mysterious and fast. In an instant, the 6 undying lords were surrounded by the gray light rays. What's going on? My movements have become slow. I can't move. What's going on? The 6 undying lords were stunned. They felt that after their body was hit by the light rays, their entire body seemed to be locked down. Their movements were incomparably slow, like dying demons. They probably couldn't even take a single step in a second. They even felt their thinking speed slowing down, needing a long time to think of a single sentence. Immediately, they panicked. One had to know that in a battle between immortals, even if there was a difference of 0.01 seconds, a single moment of mistake could result in death. Not to mention a single second of delay, it was basically a fatal danger. The slow ability is a consummate skill. Xia Ping was very satisfied. When the slow light appeared, normal enemies couldn't escape the morning boss's pursuit. They could only watch helplessly as they were killed. As expected of the Hell's prison guard's weapon, it was a powerful treasure created purely for the purpose of capturing Hell's criminals. As long as it was used properly, it would be a godly skill. Break! 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 Break now! Sea Shark Lord roared. It was extremely terrified, burning its soul power, completely activating the power within its body, increasing its strength by several times in a short period of time. With a dong, it actually broke free of the slow ability and fled into the distance. Huh? Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. It seemed that he had not used the morning boss's ability well enough. It was not strong enough, and the range was too far, which led to the weakening of the deceleration ability. That was why the Sea Shark Overlord broke free and obtained a chance to escape. When the other undying lords saw this, they followed suit, igniting their blood and souls, going all out, instantly shaking off the slowing ability. Even if this move would damage their source, if they didn't use it now, they wouldn't have the chance to use it in the future. It was better to live than to die. Looks like one of them is going to get away. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. 6 immortal rank overlords were fleeing at the same time. No matter how powerful he was, he could only capture 3 of them. He would not be able to capture the remaining 3. After all, he was too busy. It was hard for him to chase after an undying lord. Brother, let me help you. At this moment, Gaia's voice was heard. She seemed to have woken up at some point and noticed Xia Ping's dilemma. Hence, she immediately came out of the Mountain River Pearl space and faced the 6 immortal rank demons. Rumble, in an instant, Gaia stood in the void and lightly clapped her hands. With a boom, a world projection descended, seemingly colliding with the entire flaming hell, enveloping a radius of a few dozen light years. This was Gaia's projection. This G-power was like a domain, suppressing the universe, condensing the sun and moon, tilting the sky and earth. The power it contained was like a collision between worlds, shocking the entire universe. Moreover, with such a wide range, no matter how fast these immortal rank demons were, they could not escape. It seems to have gotten stronger. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He could clearly sense that this G-power was learned by Gaia when she was in hibernation. This power was many times stronger than when she just reached immortal rank. Clearly, Little Dumbo had completely grasped the immortal rank's power and could unleash terrifying destructive power. Damn, this is too much. Why did another immortal rank demon appear? Could it be the burning demon's helper? This G-power is too strong, too much. Even a peak immortal rank demon is only SOSO. Such a powerful demon actually did not attack, just now, and has been hiding until now. Shameless to the extreme. He did not attack just now, and actually attacked now. He was clearly planning to ambush us. That bastard must have planned this. I can tell. That bastard purposely used himself as bait to lure us into attacking. I guess I'm also a cunning demon. I didn't expect to be tricked by this burning demon. I've been hunting geese all day, but I still got pecked in the eye by the burning demon. I don't F asterisk CK. I don't F asterisk CK. Sea Shark Lord and the other demons shrieked. They could sense how terrifying this Gaia projection was. It simply surpassed everything and reached the domain level. They could not escape. It was as if the world was crashing into them. Rumble, in just one strike, the 6 immortal rank demons were hit by the Gaia projection. They were wrapped up like rice dumplings, and all their power was completely sealed. Whoosh! In the next second, Gaia waved her hand, and the 6 immortal rank demons disappeared. Where's that demon lord? Xiaoping asked curiously. Big brother, I've already imprisoned them in Gaia cage and suppressed them temporarily. Gaia indicated that she could not kill the immortal rank demons for the time being. If she improved further and comprehended a stronger power of law, then killing immortal rank demons would not be a problem. However, she was still a distance away from that now. In fact, if Xiaoping did not borrow the power of powerful artifacts like Hell Spear and Reincarnation Brush, he would not be able to kill the immortal rank existences. Imprisoned in Gaia's space? Aren't you afraid that they will cause trouble? Xiaoping asked. He was a little worried that these immortal rank demons would wreak havoc in Gaia's space and harm Gaia's source. Don't worry. As long as these immortal rank demons do not have power 10 times stronger than me, they will not be able to escape from Gaia Cage. Gaia Cage was a rather terrifying power. It was a spatial talent deep within her source. Once the enemy was imprisoned inside, they would not be able to escape. 10 times stronger. Hearing this, Xiaoping was relieved. Even if these immortal rank demons could overturn the heavens, they could not be stronger than Gaia, let alone 10 times stronger. Chapter 2095. Where's Sea Shark Overlord? Where did the other immortal overlords go? Damn burning devil, what did you do? Rock Overlord, who was wrapped like a rice dumpling, also noticed this scene. It was completely dumbfounded. It had no idea what had just happened. It only felt that Sea Shark Overlord and the other immortal overlords disappeared from this world in an instant, as if they had been erased from this world. Such a strange occurrence made it terrified. It could not understand what had just happened. Then you don't need to care. Xiaoping thrust his spear towards Rock Overlord's head. No, stop, you damned burning devil, stop immediately. I still have treasures in the castle, unparalleled treasures. Spare me. I can give all of them to you. I can give them all to you. Rock Overlord shouted in fear. It tried to take out all of its treasures in exchange for its life. Dong! In the next second, its voice stopped abruptly. Its rock head was immediately pierced by the Hell Spear. Terrifying hell power exploded in the depths of its soul, instantly blasting its soul into pieces. Rock Overlord dead. Walala S3, 1. When Rock Overlord died, the reincarnation brush trembled. It furiously devoured the boundless soul energy obtained from Rock Overlord's body and took it for itself. The soul energy turned into gray mist and rapidly surged into the depths of the reincarnation brush, quickly filling up the entire space. Walala, Xiaoping's consciousness seeped into the reincarnation brush. After obtaining the souls of the 3 immortal overlords, the reincarnation brush's internal space was filled with soul energy, turning into a boundless ocean. Dong dong dong! The soul ocean continuously slammed against the first layer of seal and the first bronze gate. Loud banging sound could be heard every time it collided with the gate. After an unknown amount of time, after such an intense beating, a crack finally appeared on the bronze gate. With a cracking sound, a spider-like crack appeared on the gate. Even the chains that sealed the bronze gate had suffered a heavy blow and were breaking apart. Boom! In the end, the bronze gate could no longer endure and collapsed. Even the chains were completely shattered. An unfathomable power surged out from the depths of the bronze gate. It's gone. Xiaoping's eyes lit up. He immediately knew that the reincarnation brush had lifted the first layer of the seal. A majestic and profound energy gushed out from the depths of the reincarnation brush and poured into the depths of his mind. At this moment, his soul and the spirit of the reincarnation brush weaved together, as if they were fusing together. Countless hellish runes emerged and formed a supreme scripture. He also knew the ability that the reincarnation pen had obtained after breaking the first seal, Soul Hook. This ability was no longer a temporary X, but a permanent X. The tip of the reincarnation pen flickered with a cold, indestructible black light. It seemed that every strand of black hair was a peerless sword that could tear the void apart. Crash! Xia Ping held the reincarnation brush in his hand and gently swiped at the void. Immediately, a huge void crack that spanned dozens of kilometers appeared in front of him, penetrating the space barrier of this world. The so-called space barrier was as fragile as tofu in front of the reincarnation brush. It couldn't even withstand a single blow. So powerful. Xia Ping was extremely excited. After breaking the first layer of the seal, the reincarnation brush didn't just obtain a simple ability. It had simply improved in all aspects and turned into a peerless killing weapon. In terms of attack power alone, it was more than 10 times stronger than before it was unsealed. Needless to say, its destructive power was simply unheard of. He had sacrificed so much to kill 3 immortal ranked demons and break the seal on the reincarnation brush. It was still worth it. The lightning tribulation has ended? At this moment, Xia Ping raised his head. Unknowingly, the tribulation clouds in the sky had gradually dispersed. The descending 9 underworld flaming lightning had also disappeared. He blinked his eyes. He didn't even know when the lightning tribulation ended. This lightning tribulation was too weak. If the lightning tribulation had its own consciousness and knew what Xia Ping was thinking, it would definitely curse loudly. Who would know that such a terrifying monster existed in this world? Normally, a terrifying lightning tribulation like the 9 underworld flaming lightning would even cause an immortal ranked demon to lose 3 layers of their skin. If they were hit by it, they would suffer a fate worse than death. Needless to say, other demons would definitely die. However, this bastard was like a dominator of flames. He had a natural resistance to flames. Any flame power that landed on this kid was useless. All the 9 underworld flaming lightning that landed on Xia Ping's body was rapidly devoured by him and transformed into a huge amount of energy, causing the hell golden crow cells in his tea to awaken rapidly. Hence, the tribulation clouds dissipated reluctantly. After all, it knew that it couldn't do anything to Xia Ping. Moreover, it had used up all the tribulation power after striking 108 layers of lightning tribulation. S3. It couldn't condense any more in a short period of time. It seems like a lot of the hell golden crow cells in my tea have awakened. After this lightning tribulation ended, Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He suddenly discovered that another 500 million hell golden crow cells had awakened in his tea. Currently, he had awakened a total of 1.5 billion hell golden crow cells. The 1.5 billion particles in the depths of his tea were breathing and trembling, devouring and nibbling away, causing a phenomenon in the world. An unprecedented tyrannical power gushed out from Xia Ping's tea. It was as if the power of 1.5 billion small hell golden crows was surging, chirping, soaring, and swallowing the world's chi. It seemed as if he could create a storm that could engulf the entire planet with just one breath. One look from him could create thousands of volcanoes and turn a small world into an endless sea of fire. Every move from him could break through the void, shake the universe, and shake the world. Rumble, this tyrannical aura spread out from Xia Ping's tea. With his tea as the center, it was like a tidal wave sweeping in all directions in waves. The area within a radius of tens of billions of kilometers was enveloped by such an aura. Rumbling sounds rang out, and every inch of land, every mountain, and even every inch of space was trembling. The ground trembled, and countless cracks appeared. Some tall mountains directly collapsed and turned into dust. Whoosh, crazy winds howled, engulfing the world, creating thousands of hurricanes that continuously spun. All of the demons and ghosts within this range shivered in fear, feeling the aura of doomsday. It was as if an unsurpassed god of the underworld had descended. This was simply the noblest, purest power of hell, surpassing everything. Even the power of the 9 great, undying overlords couldn't compare at all. In terms of intrinsic quality, they were who knew how many times stronger. Chapter 2096. In the distance, countless demons also saw this scene. Especially when they saw the 9 immortal rank lords fall, they were all scared half to death, shivering and panicking. 1 second to remember it's a wonderful, free reading without pop-up window. Oh my God, this burning demon is too terrifying. How could this happen? Rock Overlord, Swamp Overlord, Ocean Shark Overlord, they're all dead, killed by this burning demon. It's so strong it makes people's hair stand up. This has never happened in Flaming Hell. Now that the 9 immortal rank lords are dead, what should we do? Many demons glanced at each other. They never thought something like this would happen. 9 immortal rank lords being killed at the same time. That was like a fairy tale. But now, such a ridiculous thing really happened in front of them, and they saw it happen with their own eyes. There was no way to fake it. In truth, they were all subordinates of the 9 immortal rank lords, and were commanded by them. It was also because of the immortal rank lord suppression that all demons were willing to listen to them. If the immortal rank lords died, it was like a group of dragons without a leader. The entire Flaming Hell would be in chaos. Warlords would rise. Unprecedented chaos would occur. Just as they didn't know what to do, Xia Ping's body suddenly emitted a terrifying aura that swept through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Especially when they felt the pure infernal golden crow bloodline aura deep within Xia Ping's body. That was practically Hell's most ancient, most primitive, most powerful underworld god power. To demons and demons who only had low-level infernal bloodline, this was an overwhelming advantage. This was the difference in life essence. S3, like a low-level life form facing a high-level life form, they couldn't resist at all. This G bloodline aura triggered the bloodline within their T bodies, making them tremble in fear. No matter how strong they were, they immediately prostrated on the ground. So that's how it is. Since the 9 immortal rank lords are dead, then the one who killed them will naturally be the new lord, the new master of Flaming Hell. That's to be expected. To be able to kill the 9 immortal rank lords, of course he has the right to become the true master of Flaming Hell. This will be the first time the entire Flaming Hell has been unified. Unbelievable. Such a dense, infernal bloodline must have been inherited from the highest level of demons. Who knows how much more powerful and noble they are compared to the previous overlords. Burning Demon? No, that's not right. It should be Burning Overlord. I'm willing to serve you, to be your dog, to fight for you, to go through water and tread on fire, to die for you. Burning Overlord, we are willing to serve you. Many demons and fiendish demons prostrated themselves on the ground, expressing their willingness to become the Burning Overlord subordinates and conquer the world. This was the rule of the infernal demons. The strong were respected, and there was no loyalty to speak of. They would attach themselves to whoever was stronger. Minister F. In midair, Xia Ping's mouth twitched. He had only wanted to show off his aura and understand his sudden surge in power, but he did not expect to scare the demons and demons nearby into submission. However, he had a thought. Perhaps it might not be a bad thing to take in these demons, no, to rule the entire fiery hell under his jurisdiction. After all, the entire hell plane was simply too big, like the eternal sands of the universe. The fiery hell was just one of the smaller hell planes there. If he could conquer the fiery hell and use it as a springboard, he would be able to head to an even stronger hell plane and kill even stronger demons and fiendish demons there. His infernal golden crow bloodline needed to grow, and he could not do without the help of the hell plane. Master, with a so sound, Luna's figure suddenly appeared before Xia Ping. She was dressed in a gothic outfit, giving her a petite appearance. However, no one could tell just how much power her petite body contained. Xiaoping's heart skipped a beat. At this moment, Luna seemed to have become even stronger than before. After devouring a large amount of universe essence, her cultivation base had actually reached the pinnacle of the lightning tribulation realm. She was just one step away from breaking through to the sempiternal realm. What is it? Xiaoping asked. Let me rule over these demons in place of master. I feel that my power will grow faster in this hell plane, said Luna. Hearing this, Xiaoping could not help but nod. As an undying corpse beast, Luna could strengthen herself by devouring enemies. This was the most terrifying demon in the hell plane. The hell plane was endless and filled with countless demons. This was indeed the most suitable place for Luna to grow. S3. If this was in the real world, wantonly slaughtering would cause great trouble. However, it was different in the hell plane. Slaughtering was a common occurrence. Most importantly, Luna was an undying existence. Unlike other creatures, even creatures of the strongest races like Gaia, she was an undying existence from the moment she was born. Even sages could not kill her. It could be said that she was born an undying creature. Even though she did not possess the power of an immortal, she possessed the ability of an immortal. Her survivability far surpassed that of ordinary immortal rank demons. Moreover, if she continued fighting, Luna would continue to grow stronger and evolve. That was why the sages of the immemorial era were so afraid of Luna. She was simply a monster that could destroy the world. If she was not controlled, the entire universe would be engulfed. All right, you shall rule over these demons. Xiaoping nodded and agreed to Luna's request. Hearing this, Luna immediately flew into the air and looked down at the demons on the ground expressionlessly. Listen up, I'm Master's #1 General Luna. From now on, you'll have to listen to me. Anyone who disobeys will die. A terrifying black aura emanated from her body. It seemed to have dyed the entire hell black. It was so dense that it could not be dispersed. Even the sins in the depths of hell could not compare to it. Yes, the demons were so frightened that they prostrated themselves again. They were different from humans. Their strength did not depend on their T-shape. Sometimes, the smaller the T-shape, the more terrifying they were in the hell plane. The little girl in front of them looked like a human. However, the evil power contained within her T-shape was simply unimaginable. She was simply the most evil, most savage, and most terrifying existence. It was as if they dared to disobey, they would immediately be devoured and turned into a pile of fertilizer. Their instincts as T-shapes were warning them not to disobey the little girl in front of them. Otherwise, they would definitely die. This was an instinctive fear that came from their genes. All right, let's go. Expedition F, Flaming Hell. Luna seemed to be a little excited. She completely treated this as a war game. Voila. Chapter 2097. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Not long after, Luna left with the demons, beginning her conquest of fiery hell. It probably wouldn't be long before the entire fiery hell would be under her rule. Xiaoping didn't care about this. He reached out and grabbed the corpses of the Rock Overlord, Swamp Overlord, and Nether Ghost Overlord. He felt that even though these undying overlords were dead, their remaining flesh and blood energy would definitely be of great benefit. He couldn't let go to waste like this. Of course, these undying demons have been corroded by hell's energy. He needed to take care of it. If ordinary people dare to touch them, they would be corroded by hell's energy and become hell creatures. Suddenly, the depths of Xiaoping's consciousness trembled. He felt the world tree inside him tremble. It swayed gently and released waves of green light. What's going on? He hadn't expected the world tree to move at this time. It seemed to have sensed something beneficial to it. In the next second, one green root after another extended out of the void, landed on the 3 undying demon overlord corpses, and seeped into them. Whoosh, the world tree trembled and produced a devouring power. The 3 undying demon overlord corpses withered at a speed visible to the naked eye. The roots wriggled like water pipes, and a huge amount of flesh and blood essence was quickly transferred into the world tree's body. After absorbing the undying substance, the world tree seemed to have obtained a perfect supplement. Its entire body grew, growing to 100 meters tall. Each root and branch was much thicker than before. Xiaoping's heart jumped. If that was all, it wouldn't be a big deal. But after devouring the undying demon overlord's flesh and blood essence, the world tree actually underwent a huge transformation. He personally saw the huge amount of flesh and blood energy wriggling along with the roots. Then, the world tree's leaves began to bloom and bear fruit. It didn't seem to take much time at all. The process was directly shortened. 3 golden fruits appeared on the world tree's branches just like that. There were strange patterns on its surface. It looked like a golden pill, but it didn't have any magic power. It just contained a boundless amount of pure life energy. However, there was a core in the depths of this fruit. It was a golden seed. This golden seed also emitted a boundless life force, producing a rhythm of life and emitting waves of immortal aura. Clearly, this was the immortal true spirit that only immortal rank creatures could condense. It's the immortal fruit. Xiaoping's body trembled. He never expected the world tree to have such an ability. It could absorb energy from the flesh of immortal rank creatures and bear fruits on the tree. Not only did this undying fruit contain a huge amount of life energy that could increase one's magic power and cultivation by at least 10 million years, but also contained the undying true spirit of an undying being. If an ordinary lightning tribulation realm cultivator consumed an immortal fruit, they would have a 30% higher chance of breaking through to the sempiternal realm. If he consumed 4 pills, he would have a 100% chance of advancing. Unbelievable. Xiaoping couldn't help but widen his eyes. If the news of the undying fruit were to spread out, it would definitely shock the entire universe. Countless people would come to snatch it. Having a 100% chance of becoming an immortal sage was the dream of countless cultivators. This was the ability of the world tree. It had the effect of turning something rotten into something magical. However, to Xiaoping, these undying fruits weren't of much use. His accumulation was too deep. A few undying fruits couldn't provide him with much help. Moreover, the birth of an undying fruit wasn't that simple. He had to kill an immortal rank demon to produce an undying fruit. It seemed like the world tree couldn't produce undying fruits by absorbing other creatures. It could only produce such an effect by killing hell demons, abyssal demons, and other darkness creatures. It was likely that the energy within these darkness creatures, hell power and abyssal power, were greatly beneficial to the world tree. Other races wouldn't have such an effect. Right, it seems like Dumbo has imprisoned 6 other immortal rank demons. I wonder what would happen if I devour all of them and turn them into undying fruits. With a thought, Xiaoping's figure flickered. He communicated with the Gaia origin and immediately entered the Gaia space. Whoosh! In the next second, he appeared in a space of nothingness. There seemed to be a huge, planet-like, invisible space cage near Gaia's origin. At this moment, the 6 immortal rank demons looked like they had lost their parents. No matter how they struggled, they couldn't move the spatial cage at all. Clearly, they had been completely imprisoned. At this moment, the 6 immortal rank demons also saw Xiaoping approaching and became agitated. Burning Devil, let us go. Let's go immediately. As long as you let me go, all of my treasures will belong to you. I've accumulated so many treasures over countless years that you can't even begin to imagine. Even my army and my castle will belong to you. Let's go this time. We definitely won't go against you again. The 6 immortal rank demons begged for mercy. They knew that they were no match for the Burning Devil. If they didn't beg for mercy, only death awaited them. No need. Just obediently become fertilizer for the world tree. With a thought from Xiaoping, the world tree's roots immediately split into 6 and penetrated the invisible spatial cage. They pierced through the space and directly penetrated the bodies of the 6 immortal rank demons. Voila! In an instant, the 6 immortal rank demons let out miserable cries. Their life essence was all devoured by the world tree. The roots squirmed like water pipes and made gurgling sounds. Instantly, their intelligence seemed to have been erased. They were completely turned into idiots. They couldn't even let out a cry. Xiaoping raised his brows. He realized that this time, the world tree didn't seem to be in a hurry to devour the life energy of these immortal ranked demons. Instead, it was slowly devouring them. As the life essence of these immortal ranked demons disappeared, their immortal abilities were activated. They swallowed the void energy and recovered to their peak state. Then, the world tree would devour them again, and the immortal ranked demons would recover again. Clearly, the world tree had completely treated these 6 immortal ranked demons as fertilizer that could continuously regenerate. Although this caused the growth of immortal fruits to slow down by more than 100 times, it could continuously obtain immortal fruits. As expected, the world tree isn't just a holy tree. It's also a demonic tree. Chapter 2098. Whoosh. After dealing with the 6 immortal fiendish demons, Xiaoping once again returned to Inferno Hell. Next, I have to deal with the 9 spatial passageways that connect to the Azure Sun's secret dimension. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He was no longer worried about demons entering the Azure Sun's secret dimension through the spatial passageway. Instead, he was worried that the spatial passageway would collapse, causing the path to Hell World to disappear. If that really happened, he probably wouldn't know how to enter Hell World. Black Hole Worm. Thinking of this, Xiaoping waved his hand and immediately summoned the Black Hole Worm Elders in the Mountain River Pearl. At this moment, the Black Hole Worm Elders seemed to be even more powerful than before. They contained profound spatial laws, as if they could fuse with space at any time and easily escape. Moreover, the many black hole worm eggs he had previously obtained had also hatched into black hole larvae. They had also grown tremendously, and their strength had increased by leaps and bounds. In time, those black hole worm larvae would definitely be of great use. Looks like your strength has improved. Xiaoping nodded. It's all thanks to Master. The black hole worm Grand Elder said gratefully. This was not flattery, but the truth. Ever since Chong Xiaoqian had obtained a large amount of cosmic origin energy, her strength had increased by leaps and bounds. This had also led to countless benefits for the other black hole worms. In fact, the entire black hole worm race was basically a single entity. As long as the king became stronger, every black hole worm soldier would become stronger, and their fertility would increase, giving birth to more black hole worms. It was precisely because the black hole worm king had such a special ability that the solitary black hole worms were incomparably loved and respected. They were even willing to go through fire and water for their king. It could be said that the king was the core of their race, an indispensable existence. Every birth of a king was an opportunity for the black hole worm race to rise. Very well, I called you all here because I need your help with something. Xiaoping said straightforwardly, this hell world has 9 spatial passageways that can connect to the Azure Sun's secret dimension. However, these 9 spatial passageways are naturally formed and not very stable. I need you all to use your innate abilities to strengthen these 9 spatial passageways so that they won't be destroyed by spatial storms. Furthermore, you all need to set up restrictive arrays on these spatial passageways. Without my permission, no life form can casually enter or exit these passageways. He wanted to take complete control of all 9 spatial passages. By the way, in addition to reinforcing these 9 space passages, you also need to dig a space passage that connects directly to the star region where planet Yanhuang is located, connecting the Qingyang secret realm and planet Yanhuang. At this point, Xiaoping made another request. After all, every time he went to the Qingyang mystic realm, he did not want to come to the southern universe. It was too time-consuming. If he was connected to the Yanhuang planet, he could enter the hell world at any time. Master, this is just a small matter. Just leave it to us. The black hole worm elder was brimming with confidence. Excavating and reinforcing spatial passages was the black hole worm's forte. Not to mention, they also had the king's power, which made them much stronger than before. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. With that, the black hole worm elders immediately set off. As for Xiaoping, he remained where he was and went into secluded meditation. Because he had just transcended the heavenly tribulation, his magic power had skyrocketed. He needed some time to stabilize his cultivation base. Meanwhile, on the other side, Luna was leading the demon army to sweep through the territories of the 9 undying lords. Their first step was to Rock City. Because Xia Ping's heavenly tribulation was closest to Rock City, they naturally started attacking from the closest location. Rock City's demons? The Rock Overlord is already dead. Hurry up and surrender. Otherwise, we will bathe Rock City in blood today. Not a single one of you will be spared. A leader of the fiendish demons shouted, trying to persuade the fiendish demons to surrender. Rock Lord is dead. Hearing this, the demons of Rock City were shocked. They couldn't believe their ears. That was an undying ranked demon lord. How could it just die like that? Because after so many years, after countless battles, countless demons had died, but the undying ranked demons never died. At most, they would escape from flaming hell and head to other planes. However, now that Rock Lord was dead, this indeed shocked many demons. Because the death of the 9 undying lords was too short. Flaming hell was vast and boundless. Without a communication tool like the Universe Virtual Network, there was no way to instantly spread the news to every corner of flaming hell. Hence, it was natural that they didn't know about the death of the 9 undying lords. Everyone, don't listen to this demon's words. Rock Lord is a great existence. How could he die? You think you can make a surrender just by saying a few words? You must be dreaming. Immediately, a Rock City commander shouted. He didn't believe the words of these demons. If an immortal rank fiendish demon appeared here, it would immediately surrender without a second thought. However, the fiendish demons that appeared here were at most of the same rank as it. If such a force could make Rock City surrender, then Rock City would have been destroyed many times over. Damn it! Many of the fiendish demon leaders cursed. They knew that they could not intimidate so many fiendish demons in Rock City with their strength alone. However, this was the first mission given to them by their lord. They couldn't mess it up now. Since you don't want to surrender, then die. At this moment, Luna made her move. She was expressionless and unmoved. To her, she didn't have any thoughts of killing. Other than Xia Ping, the others were just bugs, food. If they dared to disobey her, they would all die. Rumble, the moment she finished speaking, a black storm surged out from Luna's body. It was so dense that it couldn't be dispersed. It emitted evil, devouring, corrosive, dark aura, as if it was an extremely evil existence. Buzz, buzz, every strand of black air seemed to transform into a flying black bug, containing mysterious runes. They flapped their wings. Over 100 million of them charged towards Rock City. This was the bloodline's sacred ability of the corpse beasts. Locust storm. Walala, this black storm crushed over, blotting out the sky and covering the earth, enveloping the entire Rock City. There was no fighting, no struggling, no screaming, nothing at all. Everything was close to nothingness. In the next second, Rock City disappeared just like that, erased from this land. Those demons that stayed in Rock City, regardless of their strength, all disappeared. Not even a drop of blood or a bone was left. They disappeared from this world just like that. When the demon chieftains saw this, their hair stood on end and their bodies trembled. They could clearly see countless black insects appearing in the storm. It was these black insects that had devoured the entire Rock City cleanly, leaving nothing behind. Nothing could stop these black insects from devouring and tearing at the city. They rejoiced that they didn't disrespect this lord. Otherwise, they would have died for sure. Go to the next city. Kill anyone who resists. Luna was expressionless as she gave the order. After devouring all the demons in Rock City, her aura had also increased by a notch. Yes. Chapter 2099. A month later, Luna's army swept through the entire flaming hell. The demons in the 9 cities of the flaming hell resisted at first, not believing that their overlord had been killed. But after Luna easily slaughtered a few cities and devoured countless demons, all the demons were scared out of their wits. They no longer dared to resist. When they heard that Luna's army had arrived, without needing Luna to say anything, all the demons surrendered and submitted to the burning overlord. Anyway, For these demons, betrayal was nothing out of the ordinary. Moreover, it was not shameful to submit to a demon that was stronger than them. At this point, the entire flaming hell was completely unified. All the demons and nether ghosts were under Xia Ping's rule. Luna's notoriety also spread throughout the flaming hell. In order to announce that Xia Ping was the ruler of the entire flaming hell, Corinne took out many nano-engineered robots and spent 3 days building a huge city that spanned 300,000 kilometers in a flaming plain at the center of the flaming hell. It became the resting place of many demons. The ordinary demons of the infernal realm had never seen such miraculous human technology before. In just 3 days, they had built such a majestic city. They were all incredibly shocked, and they became even more loyal to the Burning Overlord. On this day, Xia Ping became the Burning Overlord and the ruler of the flaming hell. The ceremony would be held in the square of Burning City, allowing countless demons to bathe in the glory of the Burning Overlord. Of course, this month, Xia Ping was not resting. Instead, he was cultivating hard and consolidating his skyrocketing cultivation. After a month of bitter cultivation, he raised his magic power to the peak of the middle stage of the Thunder Tribulation realm. His primordial spirit advanced a great distance in the sea of bitterness. He was just one step away from breaking through to the late stage of the Thunder Tribulation realm. At the same time, Xia Ping awakened 100 million golden crow cells in his body. The total number of awakened cells in his body reached 1.6 billion. His power became even more terrifying. It was noon. On a high platform in the square, Xia Ping sat on a huge, dark golden throne. Only Luna stood beside him. Below the platform, many demons, and nether ghosts appeared. There were all kinds of strange and extremely ferocious races. Their commander-level cultivation had basically reached the peak of the Thunder Tribulation realm. At a glance, there were more than 30 million Thunder Tribulation realm fiendish demons. As for the weaker demon soldiers, there was no need to mention them. There were more than 100 billion of them, and they were the elites of the elites. If such a large number of demons appeared in the real world, it would probably cause a small-scale demon disaster. At the very least, a few Saint-class sects would be destroyed. Not to mention, this was just a minor world in the infernal realm, a plane that was like the eternal sands of the universe. He really couldn't imagine what the higher levels of hell would be like. If the demons from the infernal world of the primordial era had invaded the real universe instead of the demons from the abyss, the result would have been completely different. The other races would not have been able to survive. But no matter what, Xia Ping had unknowingly become a lord with a huge force. Boom! Xia Ping unrestrainedly released his powerful aura, displaying the demeanor of the golden crow of hell. The blood in his body ignited, shining with eternal light like the sun. In the hell world, keeping a low profile wasn't a virtue, but a weakness. Only by thoroughly displaying one's strength could one gain the respect of other demons. Bang! 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 Feeling this aura, the demons were so frightened that they prostrated themselves. They felt that if a single drop of such heat fell, it would be enough to burn them to ashes. Heavens! The Lord is really too powerful. With such an aura, even the commanders can't raise their heads. Of course, the Burning Lord is a terrifying existence that killed the Rock Lord, the Swamp Lord, the Sea Shark Lord, and the other 9 lords. It's only natural that he has such power. Indeed, to be able to work for such a powerful lord is really a blessing of 3 lifetimes. Who knows, we might even have the chance to conquer other infernal realms, obtain endless battle merits, and keep evolving. Lord, 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 burn, burn, burn. The demons were all extremely excited. Feeling such a powerful aura, not only did they not feel afraid, but they also felt excited. They felt like they were following a powerful lord. This was an incomparably honorable thing to do. At this moment, they all roared angrily. Waves of air surged and swept through the entire burning city. Kiki, what a joke. It's just a rural place, but they actually want to imitate others and become a lord? This is like a monkey trying to learn how to walk. What a joke. At this moment, a voice rang out. Although it sounded very soft, it was clearly transmitted to the ears of all the demons. Moreover, it was illusory. None of the demons knew where the voice came from. What? Hearing this voice, the demons were instantly enraged. This was the Lord's coronation ceremony. It was incomparably grand and dignified. This was an extremely important matter. But now, there was actually a demon who dared to mock the Lord in such an important occasion. This kind of courage was simply boundless. Could it be that the demons who dared to resist earlier had not all been killed? They sensed their surroundings and searched for auras, trying to find the demon who had just spoken. After all, they were now the Burning Lord's subordinates. Insulting the Burning Lord was the same as insulting them. This kind of humiliation was absolutely intolerable. But after searching for a while, they still couldn't find the owner of the voice or where he had appeared. The owner of the voice seemed to know that the demons were looking for him. He became even more smug. It's useless. Do you think you weak demons can find my whereabouts? That's a fool's dream. Even if I whisper in your ears, you definitely won't be able to find where I am. Burning Devil, I advise you to surrender immediately and hand over the essence of this hell plane. I'm a mighty existence that you can't hope to reach. If you anger me, your good days will come to an end. You'll die a horrible death. He laughed sinisterly and loudly, as if he didn't care about the demons searching for him at all. It was as if he didn't exist in this world. Soul Search. A dark ghost commander roared angrily. He activated his divine ability, and it spread out like a sonic wave to every corner of the plaza, trying to search for the soul ripples of every living being nearby. Chapter 2100. The Nether Ghost Commander's face paled, and he seemed a bit weak. He had used up a lot of energy, but he hadn't found anything useful. He felt very ashamed. Kiki, a puny nether ghost, wants to find my whereabouts? Stop joking. The voice continued to provoke him. Burning Devil, I'm not joking with you. I'm giving you an ultimatum. If you really anger me, all the demons here will die. I'll only give you one chance. I hope you'll cherish it. Oof. Luna was very angry and wanted to attack. But Xiaoping waved his hand, stopping Luna. He said, You cowardly scoundrel, how dare you boast so shamelessly? Do you think you can act so arrogantly in front of me just because you have some concealment abilities? To tell you the truth, your abilities are as laughable as a clown's in my eyes. This was the Burning Lord's coronation ceremony, an important event that would establish his unparalleled position in the fiery hell. Now, there were demons that dared to appear here and cause trouble. This was clearly a slap to his face and an attempt to anger him. Once he was infuriated, he wouldn't rest until the world was turned upside down and rivers of blood flowed. Boom! Xiaoping stood up from his throne, and his golden hell crow eyes opened. His pupils contained countless golden hell crow runes, and they immediately shot out tens of thousands of beams of dark golden light. The dark golden light was like a giant net that permeated the void, covering a radius of 10 billion kilometers. It covered every corner of the void, big and small. Boom! Countless demons in the square came into contact with the dark golden light. Their hair stood on end, and they trembled. They found that they were being seen clearly by this gaze. His meridians, his internal organs, his dantian, his sea of energy, and the magical symbols that circulated in the depths of his body were all exposed. Not a single drop was left. It was as if they had no secrets in front of this gaze. All the demons and ghosts were incomparably shocked. They had thought that they had overestimated their lord, but it turned out that they had still underestimated him. Just a glance from him was enough to make them expose all their secrets. It was like a god looking at mortals. This gaze contained terrifying fire power and destructive power. As long as the Lord willed it, he could immediately ignite their bloodlines and turn them into torches. Some powerful demons instinctively tried to resist this power, but it was useless. It was like the eyes of a god looking down from above. Nothing could escape. No matter how the mortals struggled, it was useless. Crash, in a single breath's time, the infernal golden crows, I had already scanned the space within a radius of tens of billions of kilometers. Every inch of space was enveloped by the gaze, and it was all-pervasive. However, the voice was still very arrogant. You actually know an eye technique. I didn't think that a small place like this would have such a divine ability. However, such a method is useless against me. I'm hidden in the depths of the dimensional space, invisible and traceless. I'm not something you can find by burning your mana. Give up. You're just wasting your energy. Found you. You cowardly scoundrel, come out. Right at this moment, Xiaoping sensed something and brazenly attacked. In the blink of an eye, his left eye slowly rotated and shot out a black ray of death that contained terrifying destructive power. It was incomparably fast as it blasted towards a certain location in the space above. Bang! The black ray of light immediately disappeared into the space. Suddenly, there was a shrill scream in the air. A figure fell out from the depths of the dimensional space, just like that. There was a bloody hole in its chest, and blood was dripping out. It was extremely miserable. It was a black shadow without any shape. Deep inside the shadow, there were hundreds of eyes. Each eye contained different emotions: anger, humiliation, hatred, and disbelief. Oh my God, that's a dark space demon, a terrifying demon that lives in the depths of the space. Isn't it extinct in the fiery hell? Why is it here? It's a demon from a high-level world of hell. It's not something that a world of hell like ours can give birth to. Could it be from a high-level world of hell? Many demons and ghosts immediately exclaimed. They immediately recognized the demon's true identity. Impossible. I'm a dark space demon, a master of spatial divine ability, invisible and traceless. I hide in the depths of the dimensional space and live in the cracks of space. How did you find me? And even if you found me, how did you hit me? The dark space demon was crazy. It could not believe its eyes, because with its abilities, even a fiendish demon that was stronger than it would not be able to defeat it. In fact, it would be impossible for the fiendish demon to track it down. Moreover, it could travel through the cracks of space at any time. It could run away very quickly. Even if its enemies found it, it could easily escape to another place. Therefore, it was fearless. But now, the burning demon in front of him had found his whereabouts and even injured him, knocking him out of the space crack. To the dark space demon, this was a great humiliation. Just a little trick. You dare to be so arrogant in front of me? You still have companions, right? Call them out immediately. Otherwise, I will kill them one by one in the cracks of space, leaving none alive. Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as he finished speaking, the space twisted, creating a strong ripple. Figures of demons appeared in all directions. There were a total of 12. Including the dark space demon, there were 13 of them. Moreover, these demons were terrifyingly strong. They had reached the immortal realm. They were not any weaker than the Rock Lord, Swamp Lord, Sea Shark Lord, and other Lord-ranked demons. Oh my God, what's going on? These demons are way too powerful. This is the aura of immortal. Impossible. There are only 9 immortal lords in the entire flaming hell. Moreover, they were all killed by the burning lord. How can there be 13 immortal lords now? This is too ridiculous. How on earth did this appear? What exactly has happened? They're definitely not demons from our flaming hell. They might be powerful demons from other hells. The problem is that our flaming hell is very remote and the environment is very harsh. How did they arrive here? Many of the demons were shocked to the extreme. Anyone who saw 13 immortal ranked demons appearing in this place and descending together would be scared half to death. They were panicking. They felt that they were really doomed this time. Being surrounded by 13 immortal ranked demons, even the strongest demon would die. Chapter 2101. Jie, burning demon. Now that we've all come out, do you feel like you shot yourself in the foot? Do you feel a little regretful? Said the dark space devil with a proud smile. With 12 immortal ranked demons standing beside it, it was simply an incomparably tyrannical fighting strength, as well as a huge backing. No matter how strange the burning demon was, it was impossible for it to withstand the attack. Regret what? Useless soldiers like you will die, no matter how many of you come. Do you think you can do whatever you want in flaming hell with your own strength? Xiaoping was speechless. He did not put these immortal ranked demons in his eyes at all, especially after undoing the first seal of the reincarnation brush. His power had greatly increased. Now, he had the power to kill gods and demons. These immortal ranked demons were nothing to him. He was even looking forward to these immortal ranked demons coming to test the sharpness of the reincarnation brush. Today was the burning overlord's ascension ceremony. Using the blood of these immortal ranked demons as a sacrifice would be the best. Stupid burning demon. You won't shed tears until you see the yellow springs. Arrogant to the extreme. Seeing us 13 immortal ranked demons, not surrendering is one thing, but you're still so arrogant. What kind of guts did you eat? Don't talk nonsense with this burning demon. Kill this guy immediately and occupy this plane of hell. You'll get great merits and countless treasures. The 13 immortal realm demons snorted coldly. They were very unhappy with Xiaoping's words. They were furious. Facing their powerful battle prowess, this fellow actually dared to be so arrogant, calling them shrimp soldiers and crab generals. How preposterous! If that's the case, there's nothing to talk about. I saw that you're quite strong, so I wanted to give you some pointers and make you my subordinate. But now, it seems that you're just a piece of trash who doesn't know what's good for you. Go die. Dark Space Demon sneered. It felt that it was already giving this demon a lot of face by saying a few more words. Unexpectedly, this guy didn't know what was good for him. Then it couldn't be blamed. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, the Dark Space Devil made its move. It immediately turned into a black shadow and disappeared into the empty space. It was invisible and contained an evil energy. It jumped through the space and attacked Xiaoping. This was one of its unparalleled assassination methods. It merged with the void, approached the enemy, and instantly beheaded them. It could be said that with its space god art, this kind of assassination was simply successful. Kill. Moreover, this time, it wasn't just the Dark Space Devil. The other 12 immortal ranked demons in the sky had also taken action. They knew that it wouldn't be easy to kill the immortal ranked demon, so they had to surround and kill it together. After all, defeating an immortal ranked demon was easy, but killing it was very difficult. Dragon-like demonic claws. In the blink of an eye, an undying fiend took action. Its claws smashed over like a black dragon from hell, containing endless darkness power and destructive power. The claw was densely engraved with the characters of hell. It wriggled like an earthworm, as if it contained vitality and was filled with the filth of hell. Even a demon with an immortal rank body would be heavily injured if they were hit by this claw. The filth of hell could even contaminate the immortal body, preventing the body from continuously regenerating. Burning demon, surrender. You aren't our match. Fighting against us will only result in death. A shadow fiend roared. This voice contained a special power, like a bewitching voice. It was like maggots attached to bones, containing a terrifying curse power. Deep in the void, as it spoke, the sound waves actually turned into hell's characters, condensing into substance and piercing towards Xiaoping's brain. It contained an unfathomable killing intent. This was a sound curse god art. Once the enemy wavered in the slightest, the curse power would corrode the enemy's soul, and they would never be able to get rid of it. Even if the soul was hit, it would weaken and slowly die. Die, burning demon. I will smash you into minced meat. Another immortal rank demon charged over, wielding a crimson hammer. It seemed to be several times more ferocious than the rock overlord. Every inch of its muscles was filled with explosive power. Its hammer smashed over, forming a dense array of hell scriptures. It was like a huge mountain pressing down, smashing everything under the hammer into pieces. Not so long ago, when it smashed down, the surrounding mountains and rivers would shatter, a planet would explode, and this region would become a vacuum zone, a land of death. The other immortal rank demons also attacked. Wave after wave of terrifying killing intent spread out, covering the sky and earth, shaking mountains and rivers. They spread out in all directions, not giving Xia Ping any chance to escape. It's over. Lord is done for. Many demons and nether ghosts trembled. They could feel the terrifying power. Even their previous lords weren't a match for them. Each wave was far stronger than the previous lords. And now, 13 such powerful demons had appeared, attacking the Burning Lord at the same time. This was simply like the descent of the Nether Gods, bringing the Burning Lord back to the Yellow Springs. Curtain of darkness. But before Xia Ping could do anything, Luna did. She stood in front of Xia Ping, her small body radiating an unshakable dark aura. Rumble. Suddenly, strands of dark energy surged out of Luna. This was an aura of sin, so dense that it couldn't be dispersed. It instantly enveloped her body. With her body as the center, it rapidly expanded, instantly enveloping the entire high platform. Like a black hole, it devoured everything cleanly, leaving no blind spots. Bang, bang, bang. At this moment, the 13 immortal rank demons' divine abilities struck the curtain of darkness at the same time. What? The 13 immortal rank demons were shocked, because they found that when their power struck the curtain of darkness, it was like falling into a swamp. All their power was devoured. Even the darkness demons' attempt to enter the curtain of darkness was bounced back. It was as if the curtain of darkness could even isolate space. Whoosh, Luna waved her hand, dispelling the curtain of darkness. The platform was still intact. All the power had been devoured by her. Impossible! Your aura hasn't reached the immortal rank, yet you can stop us. Just what race are you? Why do you have such power? Chapter 21:02. Haha, everyone, don't be fooled by these two. At that moment, Dark Space Demon laughed out loud. You're not even an immortal rank demon. How could you resist our immortal rank demon's power? This is probably a sacred power unique to this guy's body. He might only be able to use it once in his life. Moreover, the price of using it once is extremely huge. He might even be heavily injured already. It pointed out everything, as if it had seen through everything. I see. As expected of the Dark Space Demon, you're very knowledgeable. We were almost fooled. Hearing this, the other immortal rank demons nodded. The hell world was boundless, and there were countless types of demons. It was not strange for there to be special, strange, and powerful divine abilities. It would not be strange if there was a divine ability that could devour all attacks. However, the more powerful the divine ability, the greater the price needed to be paid. Without a doubt, this demon that wasn't even an immortal rank demon must have paid a great price to use this divine ability and defend against their attacks. This was how the world was. The more power one had, the greater the price one had to pay. Little girl, stop pretending. You're still pretending to be indifferent. In fact, you're already heavily injured and on the verge of death. However, I have to praise your acting skills. You're about to die, yet you can still show such a calm expression. If I wasn't a demon that had experienced hundreds of battles, I might have been fooled by you. Dark Space Demon showed an expression as if it had seen through Luna's acting skills. In its eyes, this little lowly was already heavily injured. Her insides were full of holes. Luna blinked and looked at Dark Space Demon. Burning Demon, I have to praise you too. You actually have such a loyal demon that's willing to die for you. I don't know what you're capable of, but it ends here. The next attack will be your death. Just die obediently. You can't stop us with your power. Dark Space Demon looked down from above, looking at Xia Ping as if he was looking at an ant. It was incomparably arrogant. Noisy. With a thump, Xia Ping took a step forward and took out the reincarnation brush. A powerful aura surged out from his body, covering a radius of 10 billion kilometers, shaking the surroundings and causing the stars to sway. It was as if the entire fiery hell had been shaken. As soon as the reincarnation brush appeared, the aura of an infernal deity descended, as if it were connected to the 6 paths of reincarnation, drawing upon the boundless essence of hell. Scriptures of hell appeared one after another, densely covering the depths of the void. It was as if they were creating visions of hell, with countless gods and demons roaring and howling. What is this? Including Dark Space Demon, The 13 immortal demons felt their hairs stand up. They were immortal rank demons. Their perception towards danger was extremely sharp, reaching the stage where the cicada can sense the autumn wind before it even moves. They immediately saw the reincarnation brush in Xia Ping's hand. It was an inconspicuous brush, but every black hair on the tip of the brush seemed to contain a soul-stealing aura and boundless killing intent. It was clearly just an inconspicuous brush, but in their eyes, it was simply the most terrifying thing in this world. It triggered their souls, causing every cell in their body to tremble, as if they had encountered their natural enemy. Even the immortal demons were in such a state, let alone the many demons below the platform. They felt an endless pressure pressing down on them, as if a yellow river was laying across their bodies, forcing them to crawl on the ground, not even daring to breathe loudly. It was as if a slight movement would turn their bodies into dust. Run! Hurry up and run! We can't fight him head-on. For some reason, Dark Space Demon and the other immortal demons immediately felt the urge to run. Their instincts were strongly warning them not to fight head-on. Moreover, they did not feel there was anything shameful about it. Their only thought now was to run. However, it was already too late. Xia Ping held the reincarnation brush, and the 9 purple palace spaces trembled. Boundless magic power was poured in, and the dark golden brush lightly drew towards the void. Dong! In an instant, a mark that stretched for 30,000 kilometers was drawn out in the depths of the void. It sliced through the void, and it was so fast that even thinking could not keep up with it. In the next second, the 13 immortal demons were cut in half at the waist. Bang, bang, bang. Immediately, they fell to the ground, dripping with blood. The area around the platform was completely dyed red. The 13 immortal demons were half crippled on the spot, unable to move. Not bad, I didn't kill you all. Xia Ping looked down at the 13 immortal ranked demons on the ground and felt very satisfied. After undoing the first seal, the reincarnation brush's power had reached a terrifying level. Even the immortal ranked demons could not resist its sharpness. With just a light stroke, the enemy's soul would be torn apart instantly, unable to escape. Most importantly, after removing the first seal, he could slightly control the reincarnation brush's power. It would not be like last time, instantly killing the cursed demon sage and destroying its soul completely. But now it was different. He could completely control the power, beating the 13 immortal demons half-crippled, but not killing them. What kind of treasure is this? What the hell is this thing? The Dark Void Devil and the other undying fiends were so scared they pissed themselves, their guts broken. They were horrified to the extreme. It was precisely this magical treasure that made them cripple with a single move, leaving them half dead and half alive. Just one move. They were immortal demons with undying bodies, but in front of this brush, they were as weak as babies. If they did not experience it themselves, they would not believe such a ridiculous thing. World Tree. Xia Ping did not say anything, lightly waved his hand. Dong, dong, dong. Immediately, thousands of roots from the World Tree seeped out from the void. They were jade green and contained boundless life force. They instantly pierced through the 13 immortal demons' bodies. Burning Demon, what did you do to us? Dark Space Demon and the other immortal demons were terrified. They sensed countless roots seeping into their bodies. There were hundreds of thousands of them, seeping into every corner of their bodies. The blood vessels in their bodies had now turned into roots. These roots even seeped into their souls, seemingly taking root in the deepest part of their bodies. In other words, they were completely under the enemy's control. At the same time, these roots also produced terrifying devouring power, occasionally devouring their boundless life force. Chapter 2103. Below the stage, the demons and Dargo saw this as well. Seeing Xia Ping beat the 13 immortal fiends into dogs with just one move, they all cheered. Heavens, those were 13 undying lords. His Excellency actually killed them in one move? Ridiculous. Some demons were shocked and felt it was hard to believe. Right, I'm sorry, but just now I thought our lord was already dead and would be killed by these 13 uninvited guests. After all, these are 13 immortal fiends. How could they be a match for them? I didn't think this would happen. A dark ghost commander couldn't help but nod in agreement. Our lord is really too strong. No wonder he killed 9 immortal lords and united the entire flaming hell. What can a dozen immortal fiends do? He killed them like dogs. Some of the fiendish demons worshipped Xia Ping to the extreme and were extremely fanatical. To tell the truth, we lost so quickly that I thought I was hallucinating. I thought these immortal fiends were weak. How could they be so weak? Indeed, they were too weak. They couldn't even take one move from our lord. Perhaps the fiends from other hells are just this weak. They can't even take a single blow. It seems the fiends of our flaming hell are very strong, far stronger than other hells. The fiends discussed, looking down on the dark space devil and the other immortal fiends. Some even suspected that the fiends from other planes were weak. Hearing this, the dark space devil and the other immortal fiends were so angry they wanted to vomit blood. They were powerful fiends from high-class hells, yet they were being looked down upon by these country bumpkins. It was like a tiger being bullied by a dog. They were extremely aggrieved and felt extremely vexed. But now that they had been captured, there was nothing they could do. Speak, where did you come from? Why did you come to the flaming hell? Xia Ping interrogated these fiends. Humph, stop dreaming. Do you think we'll tell you anything just because you've captured us and planted a demonic tree on our bodies to control our lives? The dark space devil sneered. I definitely won't tell you. We're the vanguard team from the whirling hell. We're here to search for the source of other hells. Its expression was arrogant. That's right. We won't tell you, the other undying demons shouted. We just stumbled into this place and found a weak hellish plane. That's why we were greedy and wanted to get the essence of this hellish plane. That's why we attacked you. So that's how it is. You're deathless fiend devils from the hell of whirling. You accidentally stumbled into the hell of fire to acquire the essence of the hell's plane. Xia Ping nodded, indicating that he understood their origins and purpose. Luna looked confused. The surrounding demons all looked down on Dark Space Demon and his group of undying demons. They spoke in a dignified and righteous manner, as if they would never bow down to power. Who would have thought that after their lives were in his hands, all of them would become extremely obedient, not daring to hide anything and spilling out all the information in one go? They were more timid than anyone else. However, this was the nature of demons. They bullied the weak and feared the strong. They would only submit to the strong. Burning Demon, I'll tell you the truth. We're the vanguard from the hell of whirling. We're here specifically to gather soldiers from smaller hellish planes. If news of our deaths gets out, it'll definitely attract the attention of the hell of whirling. When that happens, your little plane will be annihilated. There are countless demons stronger than us out there. Do you know that? An undying demon threatened. Why are you gathering the essence of hell? Xia Ping knew that each plane had its own essence. It was the same as the small worlds in the central universe. The hell of fire was the same. What a country bumpkin. You don't know the use of a plane? Dark Space Demon sneered. Then I'll be merciful and tell you this. If you can control the origin of a plane of hell, you can fuse your soul with it and communicate with it. Your cultivation speed will be at least 100 times faster than other demons, and you'll be able to absorb more of the origin power of hell. In fact, once you possess the essence of hell, you'll be able to conquer many smaller hell realms and fuse with the essence of those smaller hell realms. You'll be able to strengthen your own hell realm and become a higher hell realm. What? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He learned an important piece of information from Dark Space Demon's words. The reason why countless demons in the hell world fought endlessly was to fight for the essence of the hell planes. After devouring the essence of hell, these demon lords could fuse many hell planes together to form a huge hell world. There was even a legend that said if a demon could fuse all of the planes in the hell world, they would become the supreme ruler of the hell world. They would become the god of the underworld. Because of that, the demons of the high-level hell worlds were frantically searching for the essence of hell. They were at war with each other. Dark Space Demon was the vanguard sent out by the high-level hell worlds to explore the void. After all, The hell world was just too big. It was boundless, and every part of the void was filled with terrifying hellish storms. If you weren't careful, you'd be killed. For ordinary demons to find a new, masterless, and factionless hell plane was too difficult. But one could imagine how terrifying the hell of whirling was. Even an undying demon like Dark Space Demon was just an elite soldier. It was unimaginable. I see. Xiaoping also understood why Rock Overlord and the other 8 undying overlords kept fighting. They also knew the importance of obtaining the essence of a hell plane. They all wanted to defeat each other and become the ruler of Flaming Hell. Unfortunately, it was too difficult for them to defeat the other 8. They had always maintained a balance. No one could defeat the other. Kid, did you hear that? Release us immediately. That way, there's still a chance to turn things around. Otherwise, when a whirling hell's army arrives, all the demons in your flaming hell will die. Understand? Dark Space Demon shouted. Shut up. Xiaoping waved his hand and immediately captured Dark Space Demon and the other 9 undying demons and placed them in Gaia space. He didn't plan on killing these demons. Instead, he used them as fertilizer to make World Tree stronger. The origin of the Hell Plane. Chapter 2104. That's the essence of hell. Meanwhile, in one of Blaze City's treasure storehouses. After the coronation, Xiaoping went to the Fiend Devil's treasure storehouse, which was filled with treasures that the 9 undying lords had accumulated over countless years. These treasures had originally belonged to the undying lords, but now that they had been killed, they naturally belonged to Xiaoping. As soon as Xiaoping arrived, he could sense a strange energy emanating from the depths of the storehouse, causing his blood to tremble. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. He waved his hand, and 9 black pearls flew out of the depths of the storehouse. Each pearl was filled with hellish energy that seemed to resonate with heaven and earth, with the fiery hell itself. Without question, these 9 pearls were the essence of the fiery hell. Originally, the essence of the fiery hell only had 1 pearl. However, the 9 undying lords had fought over it, and in the end, it had split into 9 pearls, which had been stored in their respective treasure storehouses. Originally, the 9 pearls hadn't had a chance to see the light of day again. But now that the 9 undying lords were dead, the 9 pearls had naturally gathered together and landed in Xiaoping's hands. Refine them. Having reached this point in his train of thought, Xiaoping didn't hesitate. His eyes gleamed, and he drew upon his magic power to form the Hellfire Crucible, which he used to refine the 9 pearls. Hush! The 9 essence pearls melted, transforming into liquid that flowed through his limbs and bones. Eventually, they entered his sea of energy, where they formed into a golden pearl. What? Xiaoping's eyes shone with a golden light. The golden pearl was vibrating, as though it were connected to the deepest essence of the fiery hell. With him at the center, the area for billions of kilometers around him was like a tidal wave of energy. It transformed into an enormous vortex, and countless spatial rifts opened up around him. What's going on? What's going on? Is there an enemy attack? No, that's where the Lordship cultivates. This phenomenon must have been caused by the Lordship. No wonder he's the Lordship. He's just cultivating, and he's already causing such a thing. But it's too terrifying. I feel like if I were in the center of the energy, I'd be ripped to shreds by the spatial tempests. Retreat, retreat immediately. We can't foolishly die while Sir Overlord is cultivating. In the distance, the demons and ghosts were also shocked to see this scene. However, they knew that it was the City Lord's cultivation spot, so they were relieved. Even so, the scene was too shocking. In order to prevent themselves from getting hurt, the demons retreated far away from Burning City. They didn't want to be caught in the crossfire. This is the origin of the fiery hell, the core of this world. Xiaoping could feel his soul fusing with the core. It was as if there was a seed in the depths of the golden bead, which was engraved with dense and extremely complicated characters of hell. His soul seeped into the fiery hell, and it was as though he could communicate with the entire fiery hell. His divine consciousness continued to expand, covering every corner of the fiery hell. The mountains, the earth, the valleys, the deserts, the forests, the sky, the gravel, the air, and so on. Every part of the fiery hell seemed to be under the control of his divine sense. It was as though he had become Gaia. He had absolute control over this plane, and he could summon terrifying waves of energy at any time. With a single thought, he could turn the world upside down. Perhaps this was the power of the fiery hell. As long as he controlled the core, he could control everything in the fiery hell. What's this feeling? What a huge amount of energy. Is this the reward of the fiery hell's origin? Xiaoping's eyebrows twitched. At this time, when his body fused with the fiery hell's origin, an unimaginable amount of energy surged into his 9 violet mansions. It was like a flood, incomparably ferocious. It was as though his soul had communicated with the fiery hell's origin, and he was being rewarded by hell. An unparalleled will pierced through the void, surpassing all greatness. It was unstoppable. At the same time, a huge wave of energy descended, almost drowning the entire space. Truth be told, such a ferocious wave of energy was extremely violent. If it weren't for the fact that his body was as strong as a divine beast's, he definitely wouldn't have been able to withstand it. He would have exploded on the spot. Wonderful. This is a miraculous encounter. Xiaoping was extremely excited. He felt that this was a great opportunity. Previously, when he advanced to the middle stage of the Thunder Retribution realm, the 9 violet mansions in his body were too huge. They had accumulated a lot of energy. If he wanted to fill them up, he would have to spend at least thousands of years, and he would also need a lot of natural treasures. This was enough to make an ordinary sect spend all their wealth. But after obtaining the fiery hell's origin, he could communicate with the energy of the entire fiery hell. In an instant, the 9 violet mansions in his body were filled up with a huge amount of energy, filling every corner. Dong! After an unknown amount of time, when the energy in his body had reached its limit, a barrier shattered. The 9 violet mansions expanded into the void at the same time, and the surrounding chaotic airflow surged. Late-stage Thunder Retribution Realm. Xiaoping was extremely excited. He felt that he had advanced to a new realm. He had already reached the late-stage Thunder Retribution Realm. His energy, divine sense, and strength had all improved by leaps and bounds. First of all, his 9 violet mansions had doubled in size compared to before. Then, his divine sense was more than 9 times stronger than before. The tyrannical soul energy had almost solidified, shaking the void. He had even reached the realm of generating electricity in the void. With a slight movement of his divine sense, he could sweep a radius of 3 trillion kilometers. One should know that a distance of 1 light year was only 94,600 billion kilometers. Now, his divine sense had covered a range of 1/3 of a light year. If a Thunder Retribution Realm expert knew about this, he would definitely faint from fright. He had never seen a Thunder Retribution Realm cultivator with such a powerful divine sense. After receiving the blessing of the Hell's origin energy, Xiaoping's magic power had not only improved greatly, but his Golden Crow Hell bloodline had also awakened crazily. 10 million crystals, 30 million crystals, 50 million crystals, 100 million crystals. In the end, he had awakened a total of 800 million Golden Crow Hell cells. So far, including the ones from before, he had awakened 4 billion Golden Crow Hell cells. A terrifying flame energy surged out of Xiaoping's body, spreading to his limbs and bones. It seemed as if the blood in his body had turned dark gold, filled with countless Golden Crow Hell runes. Chapter 2105. As expected of Flaming Hell Source Energy. I have complete control over Flaming Hell now. Xiaoping clenched his fists and felt his body surging with abundant energy. Advancing to the Lightning Tribulation Realm late stage had made his strength much stronger than before. Moreover, after refining Flaming Hell's source energy, he had complete control over this plane world. He could completely close the spatial passageway, connecting this plane world to other worlds. If other fiendish demons came in from the outside world, he would be able to sense them immediately. Even with the help of Flaming Hell's source energy, he could vaguely sense the situation in the periphery of Flaming Hell. It was as if hell monsoons were blowing in the depths of the void at any time. Once ordinary demons left Flaming Hell, they would be killed immediately without the protection of the plain crystal wall. Even immortal rank demons would not be able to last for too long. The benefits of this source energy are too great. If I can conquer other planes of hell, my evolution speed will be even faster. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He finally understood why those overlord rank fiendish demons loved to fight so much. Conquering other planes of hell brought too many benefits. Refining a plane of hell would allow one's cultivation to improve by leaps and bounds. Slime. At that moment, the golden slime jumped out of his body. It seemed to sense that the treasury contained many precious hell ores that would greatly benefit its growth. It raised its head and looked at Xiaoping. Go ahead and eat whatever you want. Xiaoping waved his hand. He did not care about the many hell treasures in the treasury at all. In any case, he would not be stingy with anything that was beneficial to the golden slime. Although these hell ores contained hell power and had a powerful corrosive effect on ordinary creatures, they were useless against special life forms like the golden slime. Any mineral that entered the golden slime's stomach would be rapidly digested and fused into its own power. Slime. The golden slime was very excited and immediately jumped over. It immediately turned into a blob of liquid and surrounded the many ores in the treasury, devouring them desperately. I need to enter seclusion for a while. Xiaoping felt that he had just broken through and needed some time to stabilize his sudden surge in cultivation. Otherwise, it would cause his foundation to become unstable. 1 month later, time passed in the blink of an eye. Xiaoping advanced to the late stage of the Thunder Tribulation realm. It took him a month to completely consolidate his cultivation, familiarize himself with the surging power, magic power, and divine sense in his body, and integrate all the power. At this moment, he was much stronger than he was a month ago. Every single one of his movements seemed to exude the aura of agelessness. He was already getting closer and closer to the sempiternal realm. The lightning tribulation didn't come. However, Xiaoping was still puzzled by one thing. After he reached the late-stage Thunder Tribulation realm, he did not sense any Thunder Tribulation aura. System, why is this happening? Xiaoping asked. It's very simple. Because the host broke through in the hell world and did not break through in the original universe. The origin of the universe was not alarmed, and the lightning tribulation could not descend. The system replied, could it be that breaking through in the hell world doesn't require me to undergo the lightning tribulation? Xiaoping's heart skipped a beat. If he ascended to the immortal realm in the infernal realm, wouldn't he not need to undergo the lightning tribulation? Host, this is impossible. The system replied, the host's soul was born in the universe. If the host wishes to transcend and separate his soul from the river of destiny, he must return to the original universe. If the host continues to stay in the hell world, the host's strength might continue to grow. However, the host will never be able to transcend. In the end, the host will only decay and his lifespan will run out. Looks like if I want to transcend, I'll have to return to the original universe. Xiaoping understood. His soul was born in the original universe and had merged with the river of destiny of the original universe. If he wanted to transcend, he would have to return to the original universe. If he stayed in the hell world, he would not be able to reach the grand completion realm. Moreover, even if the host breaks through in the hell world, the power of the lightning tribulation will not disappear. Instead, it will continue to accumulate. When the host breaks through to the immortal rank, the power of the 2 lightning tribulations will be far beyond imagination. The system reminded. What? Xiaoping had thought that he would be able to avoid the lightning tribulation once. Unexpectedly, he still could not avoid it. The power of the lightning tribulation would continue to accumulate and erupt at the final moment. He could not even imagine how terrifying the power of the lightning tribulation would be when he broke through to the immortal rank. Looks like taking a shortcut is not beneficial. Xiaoping sighed. However, he had nothing to regret. It was just a lightning tribulation. He had lost count of how many times he had been struck by it. Even if the last lightning tribulation was incomparably powerful, he was not worried. Slime. At this time, the golden slime jumped out from the side and landed on Xiaoping's wrist. It turned into a bracelet again and wrapped around his right wrist. Waves of joy and excitement came from the depths of its heart, because the benefits it obtained this time were too great. It had devoured the majority of the hell ores, nether stones, and other rare materials in the treasury. These were all the treasures of the Lord-rank demons. Moreover, after a month of digesting, it had thoroughly mastered this power and made it its own. Its entire body was emitting golden light. Dense golden patterns appeared in the depths of its body. They seemed to form a huge and unfathomable array diagram. At the same time, its body also emitted waves of tyrannical sharpness. It was incomparably powerful. This kind of aura filled the surroundings. It seemed like it could advance at any time and reach the grand completion realm. It seems to be about to advance to the sacred tool level. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He felt that the golden slime had almost reached the peerless grade spirit tool level. It was only one step away from advancing to the sacred tool level. In other words, it was the sage realm. He believed that once the golden slime advanced to the sacred tool level, its strength would definitely undergo an earth-shaking change. It would be several times more powerful than an ordinary sacred tool. However, it is still lacking something. Xiaoping felt that the golden slime had already reached the standard for advancement. It had accumulated enough energy. However, it was still lacking something to break through this bottleneck. Thinking of this, he wanted to ask the experienced and knowledgeable Corinne. He reckoned that it knew a little more. What? The golden slime is about to advance? Chapter 2106. Yes, it is about to evolve, but it is still lacking something to advance. Xiaoping said in a deep voice. By the way, I also heard from the old master that although the golden slime evolves quickly and has almost no bottlenecks, it still needs a special opportunity to devour special metals if it wants to break through. Corinne said, What kind of metal does it need to devour? Xiaoping asked. I'm not sure. Corinne shook his head. Because there are too few people who have golden slime, and each of them is a big shot. The secret of them evolving the golden slime into a sacred artifact will naturally not be leaked. It indicated that it did not know this secret, which was also one of the top secrets of the universe. In other words, there is no way to know the opportunity for the golden slime to evolve. Xiaoping frowned. That's not the case. Have you forgotten? You are a disciple of the holy land of Taichu, which is the highest temple of the human race. We don't know, but the holy land of Taichu definitely knows. Corinne smiled slightly. Indeed, hearing this, Xiaoping's spirit was lifted. Such a secret was indeed top secret for ordinary people. Even the previous saints did not know this secret. But the holy land of Taichu was different. Basically, as long as one's level was high enough, they could know most of the top secret information. Thinking of this, he did not plan to stay in the fiery hell. He immediately returned to Yanhuang planet through the space channel because there was no way to connect to the universe virtual network in the infernal plane. Snap! After returning to Yanhuang planet, Xiaoping immediately connected to the universe virtual network and logged into the internal network of the Holy Land of Taichu to inquire about all the news about the golden slime. I see. Sure enough, Xiaoping learned a series of information about the golden slime. This was not a top-secret information in the holy land of the human race. It was just an anecdote, and anyone could inquire about it. This proved the power of the holy land of Taichu. For others, information that could not be obtained even if they tried was just an anecdote in the holy land of Taichu. The gap was too big. To promote the golden slime to the sacred artifact level, in addition to a large number of precious ores, it also needs some special universe-grade metals as the key main material to establish the direction of the golden slime's future evolution. Xiaoping looked at the information on it. For example, by fusing the rare material of the universe, the life stone, the golden slime can evolve into a magic treasure with powerful healing abilities. Fusing with the object God Stone would allow the golden slime to evolve into a Grotto Heaven level magic treasure. It would be able to carry a real spatial world with it, containing the power of a Grotto Heaven. Fusing with the Soul Stone will allow the golden slime to evolve into a soul tool. It will be able to use the power of the soul to attack the enemy. Its might is not to be underestimated. It is sinister and strange. Apart from these precious cosmic-grade ores, Xiaoping also saw some special ores. These could be the direction of the golden slime's evolution. Each direction would give the golden slimes different abilities. Among them, the most precious and highest level of evolution was to fuse with the Mother Earth Stone. This was because the Mother Earth Stone had the ability to encompass everything. It was like the Mother Earth God, able to contain countless abilities. For example, life stones, soul stones, and other such ores. Only those kinds of ores had strong exclusivity and could not be fused with other ores. However, the Mother Earth Stone was different. Even if the golden slime devoured the Mother Earth Stone, it could still fuse with other types of ores and obtain countless abilities. Such power was naturally more terrifying than other ores. The problem was that the Mother Earth Stone was too precious. It might not appear even once in a billion years. Even sages would covet it and desire to obtain it. In fact, even though many golden slimes had appeared in history, none of them had ever devoured the Mother Earth Stone. The information regarding the Mother Earth Stone was merely the conjecture of a certain human race sage. It seems that in order for the golden slime to evolve, I will have to obtain the Mother Earth Stone. Xiaoping touched his chin. Since the golden slime wanted to become stronger, it naturally had to become the strongest. Devouring other ores would also allow it to evolve. However, he was still not satisfied. Although the Mother Earth Stone was extremely precious and might not appear even once in a billion years, and even sages would find it difficult to track its whereabouts, it was completely different for Xiaoping. He had the Compass of Wishes, which was a connate magic treasure. It could search for almost everything in the world. The ability of this magic treasure was truly powerful. This also gave him sufficient confidence to search for the Mother Earth Stone. Don't worry, little gold. I will help you evolve and become the strongest slime. Xiaoping clenched his fists. Slime. The golden slime cried out in excitement. However, it quickly quieted down. It was still digesting the hell, or that it had devoured. Only when its power reached its peak would it be able to break through in its best condition. Moreover, the hell, or was also extremely precious and difficult to digest. It would require a lot of time. One of the undying fruits seems to have ripened. At the thought of this, Xiaoping no longer cared about the golden slime's evolution. He recalled the world tree. This time, it had captured a total of 19 immortal demons as captives. With the huge amount of energy and nutrients provided by them, the world tree seemed to be able to produce one undying fruit every month. Although the speed was slow, it was still sustainable. In a year's time, he would be able to obtain at least 12 undying fruits. In 10 years' time, he would be able to obtain 120 undying fruits. God knows how many sages he would be able to produce. If he could capture even more immortal demons, he would be able to produce even more undying fruits. Although the undying fruits weren't that useful to him, it was different for the people around him. If anyone reached the lightning tribulation realm and consumed the undying fruits, they would be able to advance to the sage realm. By then, who knew how many sage-level existences would be by his side? Seems like if there's a chance, I'll have to conquer the other hellish planes. Xiaoping rubbed his chin. Flames of war could be seen in his eyes. However, it was still too early to talk about this. After all, he couldn't even find the other hellish planes, let alone start a war and kill the other immortal demons. However, Luna was still the leader of the fiery hell. She seemed to be excitedly searching for the other hellish planes, intending to start a war. With Luna in the fiery hell, she would probably discover the existence of the other hellish planes sooner or later. Right now, it was more important for him to find the Mother Earth Stone and let the golden slime evolve. Compass of Wishes. Chapter 2107. A few days later in the Southern Universe. According to the instructions of the wish compass, Xiaoping took the stars and went directly to the area of the southern universe. He was surrounded by a boundless starry sky that was densely packed with stars. It looked very shocking. The Mother Earth stone is actually in the southern universe? I wonder where it is. Xiaoping was very curious. He originally thought that a treasure like the Mother Earth stone might only be found in the central universe, but now it seemed that he was thinking too much. Such a rare treasure could appear in any corner of the universe. It seems to be in the star field in front. As he got closer to the destination, the vibration of the wish compass became more and more intense. Xiaoping's divine sense could perceive that there seemed to be a strange and mysterious star field in the distance. Suddenly, Xiaoping passed by this place and immediately sensed that a black commercial spaceship had appeared in front of him. It seemed to be able to accommodate tens of thousands of people, but the situation of this spaceship was very bad. Because it was besieged by 5 or 6 pirate ships, it was riddled with holes and had nowhere to escape. Many of the passengers on the commercial spaceship seemed to be held hostage by these pirates. Originally, he didn't want to get involved in such things. After all, similar things happened all the time in the universe. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't manage it at all. However, when his divine sense penetrated the spaceship, he immediately found that there was a familiar aura on the spaceship. Sumei and Shoshi were on this spaceship. However, it was very strange that, with their strength, they could completely kill all these pirates, but they did not do so. Instead, they pretended to be weak women and hid in the crowd. Xiaoping touched his chin. He knew that the two of them must be planning something, so they pretended to be like this. However, what he liked to do most was to destroy other people's plans. He didn't know what Xioshu and Sumei's expressions would be if they knew about this. Thinking of this, he immediately controlled the stars to attack these pirate ships. At this moment, on the black commercial spaceship, the entire spaceship was controlled by thousands of pirates, and all the passengers on the spaceship became hostages. Each of the pirates was fierce and murderous, and there were scars on their faces. Gaga, your spaceship has been hijacked by our fat sheep pirates. Don't act rashly, don't resist stubbornly, or you will all die. A pirate leader shouted loudly, murderous. That's right, if you cooperate obediently and let your family redeem you, then you still have a chance to live. If you dare to fight against our fat sheep pirates here, you will all die. Another pirate said coldly, hee hee, our luck is really too good. We actually encountered such a spaceship on our way home. Isn't that right? Look at these guys, they're all dressed in suits and leather shoes. They must be very rich. Capture all of them. If they have money, ask their families to redeem them. If they don't, capture them. The men will be used as coolies, and the women will be sold as slaves. It could be considered trade. As expected of the boss, he's practically squeezing this group of fat sheep to death, not letting go of even the slightest bit of profit. If we follow boss, we'll be able to eat and drink well. The other pirates looked at the passengers fiercely. They not only wanted to rob money, but also did some kidnappings. Obviously, they were very greedy and wanted to eat everything. All the passengers on the spaceship were scared to death, and their faces were pale. They were frightened to the extreme. They didn't expect that they would be so unlucky to meet pirates in this place. Some people were even scared to the point of incontinence. Some people have been killed because of their previous resistance. The captain and many guards on this spaceship were also subdued and couldn't move. Among the crowd, Chioshu and Su Mei were hiding inside and observing the surroundings very calmly. At this moment, the two of them had changed their appearance to that of ordinary women. Otherwise, according to their beauty, they would definitely be discovered and captured by the pirates in the first place. What should we do? Sumei spoke with divine sense. The plan is very smooth. This ship is really targeted by the fat sheep pirates. Later, we will pretend to be captured and follow them into the nest of the 40 Pirate Alliance. Chioshu said in a deep voice, and her eyes showed a glimmer of light. The so-called 40 Pirate Alliance is the famous 40 pirates of the Southern Universe. They formed a huge pirate alliance. They do all kinds of evil and have great power. It can be said that they are tyrannical in the Southern Universe and no one dares to provoke them. Their strength is comparable to a large holy sect. Even this alliance has the support of a saint, and their nest can be regarded as a no-go zone. If one is not recognized by the 40 Pirate Alliance, they can't enter at all. Therefore, in order to enter the nest of the 40 Pirate Alliance, Qiushu and Su Mei pretended to be captured by the pirates and calmly infiltrated in silently. On the surface, this is a very risky plan, but according to their strength and plan, they believe that if they are careful, these pirates can't stop their actions at all. After all, even if this pirate alliance has the support of Saint, a saint can't casually take action. The real enemies are these notorious pirates at the bottom. Okay, then wait. I believe we will be able to go in soon. Sume nodded. She is skilled and bold. Even if there may be an accident, with the strength of the fat sheep pirates, they can't stop them from leaving. At this time, the attack of the stars came over and a thick starlight blasted over, tearing the starry sky. Bang, bang, bang. The 6 pirate ships surrounding the black commercial spaceship were immediately pierced by the starlight, and the whole spaceship broke apart like fireworks. Suddenly, including the fat sheep pirates, Qiushu, Su Mei, and others, they were stunned and had no idea what happened. Boss, our ship was blown up. A pirate stammered as he looked at the spaceships of his pirate group being smashed outside. He wanted to cry, but had no tears. With a slap, the pirate leader slapped him and made him dizzy. Shut up, don't I have fucking eyes? Can't I see it? Who is it? Which bastard is so wicked to blow up the spaceship of my fat sheep pirates? Do you know what force you have offended? I am a member of the 40 Pirate Alliance. Do you want to die? He roared. He was so angry that his heart was dripping blood. This is 6 spaceships, a total of 6 spaceships. Each spaceship is equipped with powerful technological weapons. They are armed to the teeth and are priceless. They're their livelihood. They specialize in robbing, burning, killing, and plundering. But now it's gone in an instant. All of them have turned into fireworks. Chapter 2108. Aw, come out, get out of here immediately. Which bastard is so hateful that he dared to blow up our spaceship? Do you want to die? Don't let us find you, or you will die. You will be chased by the Pirate Alliance until you die. Many fat sheep pirates shouted angrily and gnashed their teeth. They were shocked and angry. They are also in the same boat with the fat sheep pirates. Now their spaceship is gone and their home is gone. The most important thing is that all the treasures they left on the spaceship are gone. This is equivalent to killing their whole family. One can imagine their anger at the moment. They were also shocked and didn't know why such a thing happened. Because the detection system on their spaceship is very powerful. If other spaceships approach, it will definitely be detected by the system. But now there is no movement, and they don't know when the enemy appeared. Both Qiushu and Su Mei were stunned. They felt that this matter had become complicated. There might be a huge accident. How could someone appear at this time and blow up the pirate spaceship? Could it be that someone had done something righteous and heroic? Whiz. At this moment, a figure landed on the black commercial spaceship and a voice came out. I did that thing just now. What do you think? A young man in white appeared in front of many pirates. This person is Xia Ping, but he changed his appearance. No one knows him. What do you think? It turned out to be you, pretty boy. Go to hell. Many pirates are very fierce. They don't talk nonsense with the enemy. They are not interested in asking about the origin of the enemy. As soon as they make a move, they will put the enemy to death. They took out their laser guns and were about to shoot at Xia Ping when Xia Ping stopped them. Some of the more powerful pirates took out their magic weapons and tried to use their magical powers to kill them all. Xia Ping didn't even look at them. With a light palm, the whole void trembled. Boom! All the pirates present were stunned. They felt an irresistible force surging into their bodies and descending from the void. Their entire bodies seemed to be frozen, and the surrounding void was still. They couldn't move, and even their eyeballs couldn't move. These pirates didn't care about their strength. When this power penetrated into them, it produced a destructive wave. Their bodies were all smashed into pieces. In the next second, all the pirates were dead. Not a single one was left. They turned into a cloud of blood mist. Many of the passengers on the spaceship were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe their eyes. As soon as this mysterious person appeared, with just a light palm, all the pirates were dead. They didn't know what kind of terrifying power this was. No, it wasn't just tyrannical power, it was also used to the peak, reaching the acme of perfection. Only in this way can he kill all the pirates with one palm, and they are unscathed. Without a doubt, this was definitely a top powerhouse of the human race. At this moment, every passenger was ecstatic because after these pirates died, they were out of danger and would not be caught by these pirates. How could this be? Qiushu and Su Mei were extremely depressed. They originally wanted to take the opportunity to sneak into the 40 Pirate Alliance and follow this group of pirates. But the sudden appearance of this mysterious person disrupted their entire plan. But they also have no way. They can only say that no matter how perfect the plan is, there will always be accidents. They can only wait for the next opportunity. Whiz. Just as they were thinking about the next plan, a figure appeared in front of them. It was Xiaoping. What? Qiushu and Su Mei were immediately shocked. They didn't know why this mysterious powerhouse in front of them would stare at them. They suddenly became a little nervous. Beauty, are you interested in finding a place to get to know each other? I promise that I will only enter your body and will never enter your life. This will be a wonderful experience. Xiaoping smiled slightly and reached out to gently lift Qiushu's smooth chin. Baro. Suddenly, Qiushu was angry. She didn't care about the difference in strength between the two sides. She kicked fiercely, which contained a terrible explosive force. It seemed that the spaceship couldn't bear it. Unfortunately, when this kick landed on Xiaoping's body, it was like falling into a swamp. All the power was devoured cleanly. It seemed that no matter how powerful Qiushu was, she couldn't shake this existence in front of her. How can this be? Only then did Qiushu realize how powerful this person in front of her was. After a series of fortuitous encounters, her cultivation had reached the golden elixir realm. Her body had condensed many magic arrays. Every move of hers contained the power to affect the chi of heaven and earth. Her soul was also strong enough to communicate with dimensions. With such strength, even in the universe, she couldn't be considered an ant. Especially among the mortals, she was definitely an elite expert. She couldn't be underestimated. But in front of this mysterious person in front of her, she couldn't do anything at all. One could imagine that the gap between the two sides was unimaginably big. At this time, Su Mei's heart moved. She seemed to have sensed something. The aura that Xiaoping leaked had triggered a mysterious energy in the depths of her body. Xiaoping, is it you? She used her divine sense, and her beautiful eyes stared at Xiaoping. Xiaoping. Qiushu's heart skipped a beat. She also heard Su Mei's divine sense transmission. She didn't know why she was getting more and more familiar with this person in front of her. Even though his appearance had changed and his body shape was different, his aura wouldn't change. In particular, they had cultivated the telepathy heart technique. There was a special connection between their minds. With a thought, she used the telepathy heart technique and indeed resonated with the person in front of her. I've been discovered. I didn't expect to be exposed so quickly. Xiaoping regretfully said. It seemed like the telepathic heart technique had a great influence on him. It seemed like even a non-phase mask was unable to avoid this influence. This was a kind of mysterious force on the spiritual level, even more mysterious and unfathomable. It's really you, you bastard. Qiushu was even angrier. She was embarrassed and annoyed. She felt that she had been played by this bastard man in front of her. He actually dared to tease her in public. He was shameless to the extreme. At that moment, she wanted to bite him and eat him up. This isn't the place to talk. Let's go. Without waiting for Qiushu to make a move, Xiaoping grabbed Qiushu and Su Mei and instantly left the spaceship, returning to the myriad stars. The passengers on the black commercial spaceship looked at each other, not knowing what had happened. It seemed that this mysterious expert had taken the two women and left.